for the most skilled athletes in the world. And those of us who are entertained by their talent, every day in the big leagues can feel like the most important day of the year. But today, it is not. This is a day when Major League Baseball shines its significant spotlight on real heroes, those who fought and died for this great country. Miller Park soars as one of the many local symbols of freedom in Milwaukee. And right next door, especially significant today, rows of crosses, a final resting place for those who served. Yes, today we are at play. We enjoy our family, our friends, our team, and our game. And we do it as we honor the men and women, the mothers and fathers, the sons and daughters who made it so. Today is Memorial Day. And we welcome you from Miller Park, Stars and Stripes, flying high today. A beautiful scene here at the ballpark as all of the branches of the military are honored today on this national holiday. We welcome you to Memorial Day baseball here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Menard in just a moment. Well, today is Memorial Day, and the Baltimore Orioles are here. Rock, it's always special to be a part of this great game on this particular day as we honor those military members who lost their lives.
It has special significance to my family. I have 2 kids in the military, and certainly not just Memorial Day. We should be honoring these folks, men and women, every single day of the year. They sacrificed for a cause greater than themselves to support this proud country. So thanks to all of you, past and present, and certainly a day that should be honored, and the Major League Baseball does a nice job with it.
Yeah, proud to be a part of Big League Baseball today because they use their significant platform not only to honor those who lost their lives, but also for all the great military charities that are involved in MLB as well. Well, we got a ball game to play, and we're getting ready for it. It's a sellout crowd expected here at Miller Park. Day baseball on Memorial Day. Craig and Davey will break down the pitching matchup with Kyle Loesch on the mound right after this.
and Brewers closer to first pitch here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. A pleasant Memorial Day to you. We're happy to have you with us during our broadcast here today. Davey and Craig back on board, and we're going to talk about our pitching today. It's Kyle Lohse on the hill. Mr. Consistent. He's become a stopper. Is he the ace of the staff right now, Dave?
Oh, he certainly is. I think that Kyle Lohse, he is, this is the reason they got him, because all of the above, what you just said, this guy is so dependable. And when you look at it, he's always out there and will give you a quality start.
He was the stopper in his last start against the Braves. The Brewers needed a win. He goes 8 strong innings, gives up just 1 earned run. So it's Kyle Lohse on the hill tonight against Chris Tillman. So we are coming right back to Miller Park for our first pitch, the Orioles and Brewers interleague style.
Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Beautiful Monday afternoon at Miller Park, and it is almost game time here. Great to have you with us. It is 81 degrees in Milwaukee today. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard, today's producer Brad Weimer, game directed by Mark Vittorio. Great to have all of you with us this afternoon on this Memorial Day and all across baseball. You're seeing the camo uniforms, the tailoring in the hats and on the numbers, as Major League Baseball does its part to honor those who lost their lives with this Memorial Day. Meeting at the mound, Ron Renicky and Buck Showalter exchanging lineups, going through the ground rules. Typically you don't see the managers come together at home plate before the game unless you're in a series at a new ballpark. And you know Buck wants to get all of the particulars of this ballpark organized before he heads back to that dugout. And a rare visit by the Birds here at Miller Park. Here is Buck Showalter's Associated Bank batting order. He's got Nick Markakis leading off. Manny Machado, the Gold Glove Award winner, he's in third. Adam Jones, also a Gold Glover, he's in center field. Nelly Cruz, the former Brewer, coming from the Rangers to the Orioles. He hits cleanup. He is the American League leader in home runs and runs batted in. Steve Pearce plays first. The very popular J.J. Hardy in the lineup as well. Now Manny Machado, Rockies back in there. He's been dealing with a groin issue, but got in the game yesterday against the Cleveland Indians and one of the premier third basemen in the American League and all of baseball. Chris Davis not here. He'll be here tomorrow, but this is a Baltimore club that can swing the bat.
Yeah, they're up amongst league leaders in the American League in home runs. You got to keep an eye on Nelson Cruz. He's got 16 homers. Adam Jones, a very electrifying player in the outfield. Nelson Cruz with 16 home runs. He's got 4 home runs in his last 6 games, so the Brewers have to very much be aware of him. And Kyle Loesch making start number 11. The Brewers are 8-2 in his starts. He's got 8 consecutive quality starts going, and his last time out against the Atlanta Braves, not a bigger start he made. 1 run in 8 innings in a victory that snapped a Brewers 4-game losing streak.
Now the Brewers coming off a 10-game road trip, their longest of the year. They won 4 out of those 10. They went 4-6, but they won 2 out of 3 against the Miami Marlins to send them here to Milwaukee in good spirits last night. All the pieces in place, ready to play ball here at Miller Park, Milwaukee. Great to have you with us. Got the first place Milwaukee Brewers leading the Cardinals by a game and a half in the National League Central. And the first ball swung on by Nick Markakis, and away we go. Tom Woodring is the home plate umpire. He'll call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Jeff Kellogg. That's a guy to keep an eye on in case we have a replay review situation out at second base. DJ Rayburn and Dan Bellino join him on the bases. Kyle Loesch back at work, and Craig and Davey talking about Loesch as the Brewers ace this year. He has pitched like an ace. He doesn't have that overpowering stuff, but he has been a big winner. Has 6 wins on the season and has been as advertised as that ball's driven into left field. But the Brewers' Chris Davis is there to make the play, and that's how the afternoon begins.
It's going to be easy for you today because the other Chris Davis not here. Let's check out the Brewers as they line up defensively. Brought to you by Menards today. It's going to be Davis in left, Carlos Gomez in center, Ryan Braun in right, Reynolds, Segura, Jeanette, and Overbay from third to first, and Jonathan Lucroy, who played first base yesterday in Miami, back behind home plate.
One gone for Manny Machado. Talented young third baseman. Suffered a terrible knee injury last year. He came back slowly this season. Been dealing with some other leg problems as well, but back in the lineup. They had to shut him down for a couple of days earlier in the week.
You look up at that scoreboard, and Manny Machado was born in 1992. Are you kidding me? A young player that is really has the world in front of him. I mean, offensive numbers, third base. He makes some tremendous plays defensively. This is an exciting ball club, these Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, Baltimore right now 2.5 back of the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays are red hot. The hottest team in the big leagues, having won 6 in a row. As a little bouncer over to Overbay. Loesch there to cover. 2 quick outs for Kyle Loesch. Now Baltimore trailing the Blue Jays, and they are a half game back of the Yankees. So Baltimore sitting third in the American League East, which hasn't been so beastly this year. And it's been turned over a little bit. You've got the Boston Red Sox in last place in the American League East starting play today. Buck Showalter took over at the end of 2010, and this ball club in Baltimore made it to the playoffs in 2012. Significant step for an organization that has such significant history. And there's a whole lot to talk about between Milwaukee and Baltimore going back to the American League days, back in your prime playing against the American League Orioles.
In 1987, Juan Nieves' no-hitter at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. And of course, that final season series showdown in 1982, Brewers Orioles, and Robin Yount with a couple of home runs off of Jim Palmer on the final day of the season to get to the postseason.
That lone no-hitter by Juan Nieves against the Orioles, as Adam Jones takes a ball. 2-1 the count. Another terrific player here in Adam Jones. All-Star player, Silver Slugger, and Gold Glove Award winner last season for Jones. He gives a lot of credit to his defensive success to Brewers coach John Shelby, who was in Baltimore when Jones was traded for the Mariners. There's a base hit. First hit of the ball game as Jones singles to right center, beating the shift.
Well, every now and again it's not going to work, but most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, the Brewers shift has worked beautifully, but Jones able to sneak one into center field.
Oh, and here is Nelson Cruz. Cruz, what a start to the season, leading the American League in homers and runs batted in. 16 home runs, 44 driven in. He's hitting .295. He's also tops in the AL in total bases and slugging percentage.
Yeah, Brewers have had to deal with a couple of guys in the last two series that are red hot driving in runs. Giancarlo Stanton in Miami, and now it's Nelson Cruz.
Those are the ranks in the American League. A lot of questions about Cruz coming back. Same questions that Ryan Braun had to answer. Part of that biogenesis suspension. And Cruz has come back strong with Baltimore. And a swing and a miss. Loesch went with his breaking ball. Took a little off. Cruz strikes out. Now the Brewers coming up. Braun hitting second. In the first, Kyle Loesch with a strikeout. And now Ron Renneke ready to see if his offense can keep it going. 5 straight games of double-digit hit totals for the Brew Crew. And here is his Associated Bank starting lineup. Gene Segura back in the leadoff spot. Ryan Braun hitting second again. Jonathan Lucroy hits third with Gomez in the cleanup spot. You got Reynolds and Jeanette to follow. And then the bottom of the order is Chris Davis, Lyle Overbay, and Kyle Loesch. And that's a batting order that will face the opening day starter for the Baltimore Orioles, Chris Tillman.
Had a terrific season last year, 16 wins. He led the Orioles in wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts. So he's a tough customer out there in the mound, starting off at 4-2. A .421 earned run average. Got rocked pretty hard his last time out. Only lasted 1 inning.
Yeah, don't be fooled by that ERA. He did allow 6 earned runs in 1 inning against the Pirates in his last start. Tillman ready to go. Segura leads off, and the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Well, Segura has found a home in that leadoff position. Brewers offense has been clicking right along. Segura was a little hesitant to go into the leadoff spot, but it has not showed. Been swinging the bat well. Had a good road trip at the end of it.
Combination of Segura, Braun at the top of the order has been a pretty good one for Ron Renneke. Just trying to find a combination. Hopefully Braun's going to be able to stay in the lineup. He's been swinging the bat well. Really no signs of that oblique problem.
1 ball, 1 strike. Segura shows bunt. Up and away. 2-1. Segura hitting over 300 on the last road trip. And a couple of runs batted in.
A couple of multi-hit games as a leadoff hitter. Scoring some runs, stealing some bases.
It's his 5th consecutive game in the leadoff spot. And I think Renicky likes the order of his lineup. That was the big discussion on the road, the makeup of the batting order. Now, Ramos Ramirez is eligible to come off the DL today with a hamstring injury, but it's still going to be a few more days. Could be the next road trip for Ramirez. Sophia will have a report on that a little bit later. Segura lines one off the glove of Pierce. That's down into the corner, and the speedy Segura can run for a while. Around second, on his way to third. And a stand-up triple to start the day for the Brewers offensively.
Yeah, it took Markakis a long time to get down in that corner. That right field corner. What a job of hitting by Gene Segura, taking a pitch up and away, just slapping it down the line. And once it got by Pierce, Markakis had a long way to go and a long throw and a stand-up triple for Segura. So a great start to the day for Milwaukee. Listen, they've been swinging the bats the last 5 games.
Second triple of the year for Segura. And right away the Brewers put a runner at third. Ryan Braun into the 2 spot in the batting order. This is his 3rd straight game batting second. It had been since 2010 since he last hit second. And he muscles one into right. That's down a base hit. Braun thinking about 2. He's on his way. And the throw comes in late. RBI double for Ryan Braun. And the Brewers strike first quickly today.
Yeah, what do you think about that 1-2 combination now? Anybody who's had a problem with it. Triple double. Brewers up 1-0. Kind of reminds me of the days of Maunder and Young. They did that quite a bit. There's that fastball in on Braun, but pulls the hands in. Didn't get all of it, but muscles it out in the right field. And Brewers get an early lead here on Memorial Day.
That reminds me of a saying that Johnny Nairn has, the Brewers hitting coach. You know, the guys with the good swings seem to get a lot luckier than others. And Braun takes a great swing, as you know, and was able to muscle that one into right field for an extra base hit.
There's another old saying, there's more hits on the handle than there are on the end of the bat. And that one a jam shot, but muscles it into right.
I never found that to be the case in my playing days. There's a lot of outs everywhere.
A lot of handle shots.
Here's Lucroy now, the red hot Brewer catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. What a road trip. What a season he's having. He's currently on a 7-game hitting streak. Overall, he's batting .331, which is 3rd best in the National League. During the hitting streak, he has 14 hits and 5 runs batted in across the 7 games, hitting .500 in this streak. Got a couple of long streaks going, Lucroy and Gomez. Now that is a road trip. 8 doubles in 10 games. 6 runs batted in and a .425 average.
Yeah, 6 games behind home plate, 3 at first base. So it really doesn't matter where he hits in the lineup or where he plays. He just hits. That consistent approach up at the plate, keeping that front shoulder closed, and he takes what the pitcher gives him.
Certainly having an all-star caliber season as we hit Memorial Day, which is the first marker of the season. Brewers in first place on Memorial Day this year with 30 wins on the board already. Lucroy fouls it back. There's only one other National League team with 30 or more wins. That is the Giants. Giants are 32-18. Brewers are 30-21. The division leader in the East, the Braves, are 28-21. Great speed at second in Ryan Braun. Lucroy trying to drive him in. 2-1, and Lucroy to center field. Back is Jones with room. He's got it. Braun will tag, and a long throw comes in a little late, so Braun does advance on the deep fly ball by Lucroy.
Looks like the ball is carrying pretty well today. That didn't even sound like he got all of it and took Jones almost to the warning track.
Yeah, we're going to have to readjust our sights a little bit after 3 days in Miami with cavernous outfield at Marlins Park.
They played pretty big when everything was opened up down at Marlins Park, but they closed it up on Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit different.
Here's Gomez now. Continues to thrive in that leadoff spot. Has 8 hits in 13 at-bats, I beg your pardon, in the cleanup position. Moving out of the leadoff spot. Gomez has hit in every game he's in cleanup, and has hit in 6 consecutive games. That's a hard hitting streak. 13 hits in those 6 games for Gomez. Have not seen this significant of a shift with Carlos Gomez, however. Buck Showalter has 3 infielders on the left side. You remember anything like this?
No, well, Carlos, you're right. They haven't really had shifts like this for Gomez, but he doesn't hit many ground balls to second base. Most of his hits to right field are in the air, line drives.
Got Braun over third. 2 balls and a strike.
The thing that's tempting here for Gomez is a push bunt towards second. That's what we're talking about. You know, a lot of those to center field are to left center. Only 9 hits this year for Gomez into right field.
Got himself in a hitter's count. Braun over at third base, and Gomez takes a strike.
That's that knuckle curve. He's got a pretty good one when he's able to command it. He'll throw a 4-seamer, a cut fastball, and that knuckle curve that he just threw.
Two and 2 to Gomez, and that misses high. Full count to Carlos. The knuckle curve, an oldie but a goodie. Now, that, would you call that more the spike curveball or the, you know, I'm thinking about Bert Hooton with the knuckle curve.
Yeah, it's more of a spike. I mean, but he calls it whatever he wants to call it. But it's still, it's a pretty good curveball when it's working for him.
Here's the payoff pitch, and it's outside, ball 4. So Gomez draws the walk. First and third with 1 out.
Yeah, the idea behind that spike curve, knuckle curve, is to dig the index finger nail into the seams and to get a little bit tighter of a rotation. It'll be tough on the fingernails, but when it's working, it's got a good bite to it as it gets to home plate. More of a straight down break than a side to side break.
Now here's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds with 11 home runs. He hit 3 home runs on the road trip. Had 2 in 1 game on Friday night in Miami. Had a grand slam on the road trip as well in Atlanta. And the former Oriole is up there with runners at the corners and 1 out. And wearing J.J. Hardy's old number. I wonder if that's by design. They are very close friends. There's J.J.
Good to see
sporting
JJ.
number 2 in Baltimore.
Yeah, good to see him back at Miller Park. Tremendous defender, J.J. Hardy.
The Gold Glove Award winner in the American League last year. Should have a whole closet full of Gold Gloves. Just, I think, gets overlooked.
Well, and the fact that he's had a number of injuries throughout his career. But when he's healthy, not many better at shortstop, that's for sure. That's a good look with the camo and the orange.
Yeah, I like that.
Looks good.
Runners at the corners. Tillman dealing an 0-1, and Reynolds swings and misses. They know Mark Reynolds well, and he knows them well. Spent some time in Baltimore. He went from the Diamondbacks to the Orioles. and then went from the Orioles to the Yankees. He was with the Indians last year. Indians to the Yankees, I should say, last year. Non-roster invitee to spring training with the Brewers this year, and what a valuable piece to the puzzle he has been in the first quarter of the season. 0-2, and Reynolds chased. Down he goes. A strikeout for Tillman. Reynolds disagrees.
Yeah, all Reynolds wants to know is why you don't ask for help on a call like that. Tom Woodring called it himself. Once a home plate umpire makes the call, you can't ask for help. That's a done deal.
And the home plate umpire said he saw it all the way. Let's take another look.
Looks like he went. Whether he went or not, that wasn't what Mark Reynolds was arguing about. He was wondering why he didn't ask for help at first.
So 2 outs. And here is Scooter Gennett. Brewers have a run in this first inning. Leadoff triple, followed by a Braun double and an RBI. See if Gomez is on the move here shortly. Tillman is a very tough guy to run on.
Yeah, for a big guy, he gets rid of it quickly. Kind of a slide step, doesn't really pick the leg up too high. Gives a catcher a pretty good chance to throw out a base runner.
Gomez 9 out of 10 in stolen base attempts. And a check on Carlos. Baltimore is without their frontline catcher, one of the great young catchers in the game, Matt Wieters. He has an elbow injury that might require season-ending surgery. They are going to be reevaluating Wieters, I believe, later this week.
Yeah, so they pick up Nick Hundley in a trade earlier, a couple of days ago.
Yep, on Saturday, getting Hundley from the Padres. Gennett into right center field. Easy enough for Jones, and that will retire the side, but the Brewers do some damage. They get a run on 2 hits and a walk, and they lead early.
To nothing lead as we head to the second, and it's finally starting to feel like summer here on Memorial Day weekend, and it's not too early to look ahead to the Summer Classic. We take a look at our Falco All-Star update, and Ramos Ramirez is one of the guys that you can go to Brewers.com and vote for the send to the All-Star game. You can vote early, vote often. Ramos Ramirez was scheduled to come off the disabled list today with that strained left hamstring. Ron Renneke saying today he's coming along faster than they thought. He's throwing, he's taking full swings, he's running at about 60 to 70%. Tomorrow he'll be taking ground balls, getting some more baseball work in, and Renneke said it's possible you could see Ramirez back this homestand. So he would prefer to see Ramirez go take a few minor league games and a rehab assignment. Ramirez would prefer not to, so they'll have to discuss that of how they want to bring him back, but it's possible he'll be back this homestand, BA.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, that has always been a discussion with Ramirez. He's always been hesitant to take the minor league rehab as Steve Pearce loses his bat on a big swing and a miss, keeps it in the playing surface, so he'll get to use it again.
And nobody wants to go on minor league rehab. I mean, I don't know of a player ever in my playing history or in this job here doing TV. Nobody wants to do it, but I think it's in the best interest of both the player and the team. You know, Ramirez, goes down to the minor leagues, tests out that hamstring. If he has a problem with it, then the Brewers don't have to place him on the disabled list all over again. It's just better off for everybody. But hey, a player has to agree to do it.
And there's a swing and a miss. Had Pearce lunging at that offering as Kyle Loesch picks up his second strikeout.
Up 8 straight quality starts for Kyle Loesch. I mean, he has been unbelievable this year. And that slider off the outside corner gets Pearce just waving at it. He has been the model of consistency this year. The only non-quality start that he's had this year is second start at Philly. Gave up 3 runs, but he wasn't able to go 6 innings. Only 5 innings. Pitch count got him. He's been something else.
J.J. Hardy. Nice hand for him. Drives one into left center field. That's trouble. And that's going to bounce up and out. A ground rule double for J.J. Hardy. Well, how many times did we see him do that? Hit one of that gap in left center as a member of the Brewers.
Very good fastball hitter. Here's a cut fastball that didn't do much. Up in the strike zone. Good fastball hitter. Likes it up in the strike zone. That's where it was. And J.J. Hardy didn't waste it. Hits it hard. One hops out of here.
That extends his hitting streak to 8 games. Has 14 hits during that streak, including 4 runs batted in. He's having a big month of May after a slow start in April. He's at second with 1 out for Nick Hundley, newcomer to the Orioles. Acquired by Baltimore from San Diego on Saturday. And with a season-ending injury for Matt Wieters, the Orioles had to make a quick move, and they pick up Nick Hundley, who was just here with the Padres just a few weeks ago. J.J. Hardy's batted ball ends up in the bullpen. Will Smith throws it away. It's a perfectly good baseball. Appreciate the teamwork, though.
Yeah, the Orioles actually have 3 catchers on their roster. They got Caleb Joseph, a young catcher with a pretty good arm. They've got Steve Clevenger, the former Cub. So it's going to take a village to replace Matt Wieters.
They're going to have to make a move tomorrow as Chris Davis, the Orioles' Chris Davis, comes back from paternity leave tomorrow. There's a swing and a miss, and Hundley chased the breaking ball. Loesch has a good hook going today. That is the 3rd strikeout for him. Both of the outs in the 2nd inning via the K.
Yeah, there are starts when Kyle Loesch doesn't use the curveball hardly at all, but obviously breaking it out early today. He's thrown a bunch of them already. It's usually the slider, the changeup, and the 2-seamer, but today it's more curveballs early on.
Loesch facing Jonathan Scope, the Orioles' second baseman. Scope comes in batting .215. Has 3 homers, 15 runs driven in, hitting at the bottom of their order. Second time this year Baltimore has played in a National League venue. They took 3 out of 4 from the Pirates. 2 of those games in Baltimore, the other 2 in Pittsburgh, and that takes a big bat out of their lineup, built for the DH. You see Nelson Cruz going back and forth from DH to left field. Orioles are a little more versatile in that category because Nelson Cruz does play left field even in an American League setting.
It's hard to say who has the advantage, American League, National League, based on where you're playing. National League Park, American League Park. And you say National League might have an advantage because American League pitchers don't hit all that much, but you don't expect hits out of a National League pitcher either.
Well, I put Schoop in a key spot hitting 8th, and that can be, there's always a lot of focus on the 9th place hitter, the pitcher, when the AL comes into an NL park. But I think the guy who has the most heat on him is the 8th place hitter,
right,
who doesn't have a regular position player hitting behind him any longer. It changes the way you approach your at-bats when you're in a National League setting.
This at-bat, for example, you got a man in scoring position, 2 outs. You got to expand the zone a little bit.
Into center field, well hit. Gomez on the run, and Gomez is there. Carlos Gomez showing that Gold Glove form. Great catch on Memorial Day.
This Memorial Day, Fox Sports and USAA honor warriors among us. In 2007, Danny Dudek was paralyzed from the knees down from an IED blast in Iraq. Since, he has gone on to win 7 gold medals at the Warrior Games. Also, Danny has completed half marathons and sprint triathlons. Danny continues to remain active, serving in the Army's Warrior Transition Command Unit. Fox Sports and USAA honor Lieutenant Colonel Danny Dudek.
Running him down as he does so well. 1-0 Brewers have the lead over the Baltimore Orioles. Interleague baseball today on Memorial Day. Carlos Gomez just makes it look so easy, and we have 2 of the game's best center fielders in our matchup today with Jones and Gomez.
Yeah, very rarely takes a bad step, and I think Kyle Loesch knew that was going to be an out. Anything in center field that stays in the ballpark, pretty good chance Gomez is going to be able to get to.
So it'll be Chris Davis for the Brewers leading off. Bottom of the order coming up. Davis, Overbay, and Loesch. And Loesch waiting for Carlos Gomez. Attaboy, had him all the way. Loesch was a little more frustrated about the way he finished that pitch. It looked like that was his body language there.
Yeah, left it up a little bit, knowing that first base was open. You got to be careful in those spots, and that's what we were talking about, the number 8 place hitter. I mean, you got to expand your zone a little bit, knowing the pitcher's coming up. Sometimes it's not always great to take a walk in that situation.
1 ball, 1 strike, and Davis in the air to center field. Adam Jones can't get there, slices away from him, bounces off the angled wall. That'll be a double for Chris Davis.
He's starting to get dialed in, not trying to pull the baseball. Going to right field in yesterday's game. A couple of base hits to right in Miami, and now taking one into right center. Well, if this young man can get hot, that would be a big boost to this offense. They've been waiting for him to get a little bit of consistency at the plate. Starting to come around a little bit.
Had a nice finish to the road trip. He hit a couple of balls over Giancarlo Stanton's head in that big ballpark in Miami, driving the ball to right field. And another opposite field extra base hit for Chris Davis brings Lyle Overbay to the plate. Overbay comes in with a batting average of 200. However, he's hitting 300 with runners in scoring position this year. Picked up 10 runs batted in, sharing the duties over at first base with Mark Reynolds. Reynolds has played a lot of third in the absence of Aramis Ramirez. Brewers did make a player move after yesterday's game. Jimmy Nelson was sent right back to AAA after picking up his first big league win, and Irving Falou was added to the big league roster, and he's a guy that can play all over the infield, including short, and play the outfield.
Yeah, a lot of versatility on that bench right now for the Brewers. Herrera can do the same.
There's Irving Falou.
Saw a lot of him in spring training. Had a very good spring.
There was a great battle going on for that utility infielder spot. It was won by Jeff Bianchi,
who also had a good spring.
He did. Davis takes a short lead at second, and Overbay in the air to right. Got some travel to it. Markakis at the wall makes the catch, but Davis will advance. And a productive out for Lyle Overbay.
I didn't miss by much. Start off the bat, it might have enough. And just got under it a little bit. Well, there's the four-seam fastball. Missed his spot. It looked like Hundley wanted it on the outside corner. Left it middle in and right just shy of the fence.
Tell you what, it looks like the ball is flying today. This has the feel of a high-scoring game, at least to start off. The Brewers have a run on the board from the first inning, but a few narrow misses. So that'll put Loesch at the plate with a runner at third and one out. Loesch is a pretty good contact man at the plate, handles the bat well. Has 3 hits this year. You could squeeze with him as well. He's a pretty good bunter.
He'll normally get a piece of it. Infield in. We'll see what the Brewers elect to do. You've got Segura coming up, though.
And Loesch chases one. No balls and 2 strikes. Brewers got a leadoff double. Davis now over third. RBI double by Ryan Braun in the first inning. Orioles have their infield halfway in. Nice play by Hundley. A rebound behind home plate. Keep that one off the screen.
Not sure what it was, but that's a heck of a play by Hundley. You don't expect that a pitch that high.
Thought he did a nice job boxing out the home plate umpire there. The 1-2. And Loesch lays the bat on it for a foul ball.
That's pretty good getting a basketball reference here in a baseball game.
That's what came to mind.
You haven't done that too much this week. Last week.
Well, I watched that movie Basketball last night. So
you had time?
Here's the 1-2. And Loesch strikes out. Just powered him with a fastball. And that's what Tillman needed. A strikeout. Keeps a runner at third. Now 2 away. Back to the top of the Brewers order.
Hey, this Friday through Sunday, the Chicago Cubs head to Miller Park for a big weekend showdown with Ryan Braun and the Brewers. Tickets are going fast. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com.
Segura, a stand-up triple in his first at-bat against Tillman. Scored the run in the first. Brewers certainly do not want to have Chris Tillman relax on the mound, especially coming off a very poor start his last time out when he pitched just 1 inning. Took him 44 pitches to get through 1 inning of work. 8 runs, 6 earned against the Pirates, and giving up a run in the first inning today. And that was coming off a shutout, his first career shutout. He went the distance against the Royals on a 5-hitter on May 16th.
He's got that earned run average over 4, but that's really because of 2 starts. His last one that you were talking about, 6 runs in 1 inning. He had a start earlier this year, gave up 7 earned runs in 5 2/3. Other than that, he's been pretty solid.
Yeah, and in that game, 6 runs, 6 of the 7 came in 1 inning as well against the Blue Jays. And a swing and a miss. Segura. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Starting to find his location. Not a hard thrower, about 92 max. That knuckle curve, and he'll throw the cutter.
.6'5", 210, Chris Tillman, California native, out of Fountain Valley. Here's a 2-2, and Segura fouls it away. It was one of the real steals of a trade for the Orioles to acquire Chris Tillman. They also got Adam Jones in a deal with the Seattle Mariners. They traded Eric Bedard. He was coming off a great year with the Orioles. Never did much with Seattle, but the O's got Jones and George Sherrill, who ended up as their closer at one point, and Chris Tillman, among others. I think it was a 5-for-1 deal, if I'm not mistaken. You get an opening day starter and a Gold Glove center fielder, you've won that trade.
Right, absolutely. They've got a lot of talent on this ball club. They're going to get it together. 2 games over 500, 2.5 games behind Toronto. How hot is Toronto right now? They've won 6 in a row.
Cooled off the Oakland Athletics in their last series. Here's a 2-2 to Segura. Driving to right center. Jones on the run. He's got it. Hit it hard, but right at the Gold Glover, and the side is retired. Still 1-0 Brewers. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. and by First Supply. With 115 years of service and 28 locations, professional contractors choose First Supply. Back at it at Miller Park, the Orioles and the Brew Crew. Interleague baseball today on a Memorial Day Monday. Kyle Loesch, 2 scoreless thus far with 3 strikeouts. He's given up a couple of hits. Facing his mound opponent, Chris Tillman, who has never had a professional hit in his life. He never hit in the minor leagues. Coming up in an American League affiliate his entire career.
Back-to-back days we have pitchers that can say that.
That's right.
Jimmy Nelson yesterday.
Yep. Now Tillman, just a handful of at-bats, 6 major league at-bats to his credit. And Loesch makes quick work of him. Unable to check his swing. Down he goes on strikes. And Loesch has 4 already.
Tillman looked relieved that he got rung up. That's how uncomfortable he was up there.
Call it. Call it.
Just call it. I want to sit down.
That's right. Top of the order now, Nick Markakis. Talented right fielder for the Orioles. Has one of the great arms in the league as well. Markakis settling into that leadoff spot. Tough break for the Orioles and Markakis in 2012 when they finally made it to the postseason. It was an injury and Markakis was unable to play that year. Back up the middle, a base hit. Just slaps it through the box. Markakis with the 3rd Orioles hit. And a 1-out single. That snaps an 0 for 10 at the plate for Nick Markakis. And it'll be Manny Machado now. Machado bounced out to first his last time up. Loesch has been throwing a lot of curveballs thus far today. It's been a good pitch for him early.
Markakis with 3 stolen bases. He's been caught twice. This is not a team that runs a lot. Baltimore Orioles near the bottom of the American League in stolen bases.
Now they're built offensively a lot like the Brewers. They don't see many pitches per plate appearance. There's not a whole lot of opportunities to run with a lot of first pitch hacking going on.
All right. They subscribe to that Earl Weaver theory. Let's just play for the 3-run homer.
They do hit a lot of homers though, right?
Yeah. You got to do one or the other. That's what was so impressive about the Brewers a couple of years ago. A lot of stolen bases, a lot of homers.
Orioles are averaging about a homer a game. They've hit 47 in 48 games. Problem is they have allowed 48 home runs. Their pitching staff. Machado takes a strike. 2-1.
Yeah, slider on the 2-0 count. That's what Loesch will do to you. Very unpredictable out there, no matter what the count.
Those are the statistics and where the Orioles rank in the American League.
Yeah, batting average 3rd, runs per game 10th. So obviously don't get the big hits when they need them. They rely on the homer.
Inside corner. 2-2 on Machado. Machado has been a doubles machine early in his career. This is only his 3rd year. Came up as a 19-year-old in 2012. Last year he led the American League in doubles. Loesch going for that same spot, just missed. 3-2.
Yeah, doubled up, didn't miss by much. Apparently Machado looking away. Fooled him twice.
See what he has in mind for him on the payoff pitch. Markakis goes. Machado bounces one through the hole. A base hit. Markakis on his way to 3rd. And it'll be 1st and 3rd for the Orioles. 2-strike hit by Machado, and they're biggest threat of the day so far, and that extends a hitting streak for Machado to 9 in a row.
They went down and got a breaking pitch. Not a very big lead by Markakis, but he's on the move on a full count. And once that ball gets into left field, he's into third.
Four hits already for the O's. Back-to-back singles. They'll bring Adam Jones to the plate. Jones singled his last time up. He's a tough guy to double up. Very fast. This guy's got a nice streak going himself. 20 consecutive games reaching base safely after that single his last time up. And that's driven to right. That's trouble. Back is Braun, and that is going to be over his head off the wall. Coming in to score Markakis. Machado is around third. He's going to try to score. And the throw comes in late. And 2 runs are in. Adam Jones puts the Orioles ahead just like that.
Yeah, second time through the batting order, the Orioles are getting much better swings off of Loesch. Getting a look at what he's got. Throws a 4-seam fastball, and look at the approach by Adam Jones. Didn't try and pull it. And right in the corner out there, that's a tough play for Ryan Braun. And by the time he gets it in, Jones able to get into third with the triple. Actually a double, and he takes third on the throw.
2 more ribbies for Jones gives him 28 for the season. He's 2 for 2. And the O's on top 2-1. Still just 1 out. It's going to force the Brewers infield in here with Nelson Cruz batting. Not wasting any time right off the end of the bat.
Man, Loesch has made 5 starts against the Orioles. A lot of that coming as a member of the Twins. Last time he made a start against Baltimore was 2011. That was with the Cardinals. He's got a 3-1 lifetime record against Baltimore. That's a different group of hitters now.
And Loesch matched up against Cruz in the World Series 2011. Loesch and the Cardinals beating Cruz's Texas Rangers that year. Ball and a strike. And Cruz hits it sharply through a base hit and an RBI. And it is 3-1. Cruz on his way to second. The throw comes in late. A hustle double for Nelson Cruz. And the American League leader in RBIs adds 1 to it. Now 45 driven in.
Yeah, good hustle getting into second base. That'll be a double. On a ball just out of the reach of Gene Segura into the gap. And because of the defensive alignment in the outfield, Nelson Cruz able to cruise on into second base.
Three runs are in. 4 straight hits by the Orioles. Here's Steve Pearce. Pearce has been a very productive bench player when he has gotten his at-bats. He's made them count. Chase that one out in front.
And back to the curveball. He hadn't thrown too many in this inning. That was a big pitch for him in the first couple. And remember, Pearce is a member of the Pirates. A few years back, played some outfield, played some first.
One and two the count. Loesch trying to stop the bleeding here in the third inning. Got a runner at second with one away, and Pearce Sharply hit. Segura going to third. The tag by Reynolds is in time. That was a great play on both ends. Reynolds had to scamper back to the bag as Cruz runs into the out.
Yeah, that's the only play Segura had. No way with the angle that he had in the throw that he was going to be able to get a play at first. So the cardinal rule in baseball, never go to third base and a ball hit in front of you comes back to bite Nelson Cruz, and they get him at third. That's a nice play by both. You're right. I mean, Reynolds took a step to go after that baseball and then had to get back. I think he realized as well that that was Segura's only play.
Well, the timing had to be perfect. Segura had to lead Reynolds almost like a quarterback would a receiver as he's trying to deal with a base runner coming in on him. 2 outs now. J.J. Hardy, and he lines one into left center again. Another base hit for Hardy. Davis cuts this one off, and the Orioles getting their licks in here in the third against Kyle Lohse, the 5th hit already.
And that time Hardy looking curveball, got it and lined it into left field. First pitch curveball from Kyle Lohse. And J.J. Hardy, who's known as a fastball hitter, that's why you throw a first pitch curveball, going up there looking for it. It's something you don't see a whole lot of. Kyle Lohse struggling. We haven't seen much of that this year.
He's already given up 7 hits, 5 in this inning. Inning started with a strikeout. And the 8th batter of the inning, Nick Hundley. Quick visit by former Orioles pitching coach Rick Kranitz. Well, Lohse trying to muscle through this third. Turn it over to his offense. It feels like one of those days for offense. Bouncing ball. Segura's got this one. Throw to third. A forced play. Out. Another excellent play by Segura.
Wow.
No tag required this time, and they get out of it. One of the Orioles putting on the attack in the third. Fortunate to get through that with only 3 runs. Couple of sparkling plays by Gene Segura and Rock, the last 2 outs of the 3rd inning at third base in our Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play.
And both players, you know, Segura and Reynolds, improvising to get a couple of outs. Boy, outs are hard to come by for Lohse in that 3rd inning, but here's the one that ended the inning. Mark Reynolds certainly used to being a first baseman, acted like one there at third.
3 runs in when it's all said and done on 5 hits for Baltimore. And the Brewers now play from behind. Ryan Braun ready to lead off. He'll be followed by Lucroy, then Gomez. Braun doubled in Segura in the first. The lone tally on the board. Ryan had a double down the right field line. I was looking at some of the notes there for Ryan Braun. You realize he has not homered at Miller Park since last May.
Really?
It's been over a calendar year since his last home run at Miller Park. All 7 of his home runs this year are on the road, and that one is ripped right to Machado.
Now that you mention it, you're right.
Maybe today will be the day, partner. Got a couple of good swings going. Had him play perfectly, didn't they?
Yep, right at him. Didn't have to move, and Machado with an easy catch. First out of the inning. And nothing more frustrating than that.
Tell you what, the shifting in baseball, I mean, it is such a science now. There's a lot of old school guys that don't like it, not comfortable with it, but
it works.
It has led to so many outs. If you follow this game every day like we do, you see so many balls like that end up as outs.
And you wonder why offense is down, right? I mean, that's a big reason for it. I mean, I know pitching's very good, but you know, scouting reports and the way guys are pitched, but the way they defend the hitters these days, it's very difficult to get hits. You show a tendency, and they're going to exploit it. They're going to set their defense, and you're going to hit the ball right at them most of the time.
Well, you have to play Lucroy pretty much straight away in all positions, the way he sprays the ball all around. Baltimore's big on the shifting. Certainly the Brewers are.
Every team is. I mean, the Brewers were one of the first to do it on just about every hitter.
I was talking to Ron Renicky about the shifting in baseball, and when he was with the Angels under Mike Scioscia managing that club, he and the rest of their coaching staff, including Joe Madden, who took over as the skipper of the Tampa Bay Rays, as Lucroy draws the walk, they would talk about the shifting. Scioscia was not quite ready to go all out like we're seeing now, but he was certainly thinking about it. We're talking about the early 2000s here, and the Angels won the World Series in 2002. But once Joe Madden got the job in Tampa Bay, all of those discussions that he and Renicky used to have, and Bud Black with the Angel staff, he put it into play, put some of the metrics behind it, the spray charts, and that's when it started. And it all works from the mound first. You don't change the way you pitch based on the shift. You pitch the way you pitch to a hitter, and then you put the shifting on based on what happens on your game plan against a hitter. Gomez rifles one into right center. Jones able to cut it off. Lucroy on his way to third. And now the Brewers have something cooking up here in this third inning. 2 on, runners at the corners.
And Carlos Gomez, another Brewers hitter that's starting to use the whole field. This one right up the middle. Gomez with a nice controlled swing. Still a back leg swing, but well under control. Good balance at the finish. And just rips it into center field. So first and third, 1 out for the Brewers.
Gomez now a 7-game hitting streak. And that'll bring up Mark Reynolds once again.
One thing Ron Rennie would like to see his team do better is driving in runners from third base with less than 2 outs. That's been an issue for him.
A healthy Aramis Ramirez back in the lineup will do wonders for that category. One of the best in the league driving in runs. Reynolds is one of those guys that hits a lot of homers, but he strikes out a lot as well. He's sitting atop the Powerball home run leaderboard with 11. No third baseman in the National League with more home runs than Reynolds.
Good time for number 12. Give the Brewers a lead.
Didn't miss by much. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's one of those days you don't want to let a pitcher settle in. Everything's opened up, the roof, the panels. It's warm today.
The Brewers have had Tillman on the hook all 3 innings so far. I've only been able to manage 1 run.
The 1-1. Reynolds in the air, center field. Jones going back at the track, at the wall. He's got it for the out. Lucroy will score. And Reynolds with a sac fly and an RBI. It's 3-2 Baltimore.
Yep, another near miss. Overbay took Markakis to the wall and right. And this one, Reynolds in the center field, and Adam Jones used every bit of that Brewers outfield to track that one down. Right in the corner out there, a little bit more to the right field side, and that's a homer. But he drives in a run.
So for Reynolds, it's his 24th run batted in. 3-2 Baltimore. Here is Scooter Gennett. It's a good time to get him here. Thinking you cleared a big power bat with 2 outs and a way out of the inning. If the Brewers steal a base today against Tillman, it will be news. Not only has Tillman not allowed a stolen base when he's been on the mound, he hasn't even allowed an attempt.
Oh, man.
Matt Wieters is a guy that controls a running game behind the plate. He's out, but you got to give a lot of credit to Tillman on the mound. Gomez goes, and the throw to second, and it is in time. Down he goes, even on a bad throw by the catcher. Inning ends at second base.
Head to the 4th, and each year a variety of special fundraisers are featured every day of an identified homestand in support of Brewers Community Foundation. BCF Week, held at Miller Park today through June 3rd, will give fans an opportunity to access highly desirable Brewers memorabilia and VIP experiences by accessing the ultimate online auction. So you can visit the Brewers Community Foundation Week table in the concourse, or you can go online and check out the unique experiences available for your enjoyment. It supports the Brewers Community Foundation Week, will provide needed resources for nonprofits that focus on health, education, recreation, and basic needs. BCF Week, always a great week here at Miller Park, BA.
All right, Sophia, thanks. As Jonathan Scope starts the inning with a base hit. Leadoff single. The hits keep coming for the Birds today. 8 of them. And now the pitcher Tillman is up there. Likely bunting here.
Probably hadn't done much of that either.
He bunts it foul.
I think Kyle Oates has to feel pretty good about only being down 1 run at this point. I mean, 3 runs there in the 3rd inning, and a couple of great plays. They're nice plays by Gene Segura and Mark Reynolds to get him out of a mess.
Well, Loesch has shown the ability this year to get on great rolls. Remember in Chicago, he finished his start after giving up 3 runs early. He finished by retiring 14 consecutive batters. Loesch picked up a win against the Atlanta Braves, had 11 in a row retired in that game. That snapped a 4-game losing streak by the Brewers. That was a big ball game in Atlanta. Loesch got the win, beating the first place Braves, picking up win number 6. Loesch was 4-1. He lost his first game of the year against the Braves. Has won 6 consecutive decisions. He won 4 in April and has won his last 2. Tillman bunts right through it. Strikeout for Kyle Loesch. And that is the second time he's punched out Tillman. It gives him 5 for the game. Top of the order now, and Nick Markakis. Sweeping curveball in there for a strike. Markakis with a hit his last time up. Singled to center and scored a 3-run inning for Baltimore.
Yeah, Loesch needs one of these Orioles hitters to hit a ground ball at somebody. So far, the ground balls have found holes and into the outfield, except for Segura, of course. And that 3rd inning.
The last 2 outs of the 3rd at third base on 2 excellent plays by Segura. In there, a strike. 0-2 on Markakis. Markakis now in his 9th season in the big leagues. He's 30 years of age. He's been with the Orioles the entire time, and he's played a lot. He's a guy that you could pencil in for near 160 games every year, with the exception of 2012. That was a year he was injured. He has a Gold Glove on his mantle as well. Been a good hitter for him.
Yes, he has.
Twice he's driven in 100 runs.
Anytime you're on the list with Boog Powell and Brooks Robinson for hits, Cal Ripken Jr.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1-2.
Booger can hit some home runs now. Eddie Murray was on that list.
There's some great names in their history.
Yeah.
Got World Series titles. Bouncing ball, got a chance to turn it. Segura himself, 6-3 double play. And Loesch finally gets one hit at an infielder. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Brewers down a run. Wisconsin, great to have you with us. 3-2. The Orioles have the lead. J.J. Hardy starting at shortstop, the former Brewer. Our Car Soup trivia question: which 3 Brewers made their MLB debut on opening day as a shortstop? There's a better than even chance that J.J. Hardy's on that list. But can you name the other 2? Hardy was a 22-year-old shortstop when he made his major league debut. That's a good one. It's a real good one.
Yes, it is. You know the answer?
I do. I didn't know it at first, but after
they told you?
After much debate.
Debate? Who are you debating with?
We had to go to the record books. And I was proven wrong, which you'll see. You'll be, I don't know, you might know it. You're
been around a while.
You're a little more long in the tooth with the Brewers than I am.
Yeah, well.
Scooter Gennett, he was at the plate when Gomez was thrown out at second base. So he leads off. Brewers down a run. Scored first in the first. RBIs today from Braun, who doubled, and Mark Reynolds, who had a sac fly last inning. Orioles got all 3 of theirs in the third inning. Adam Jones drove in a pair, and Nelson Cruz had an RBI single.
I have 2 guys written down.
Oh, okay. You're going to submit your...
No, I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to show you the 2 names after we give the answer.
Okay. Gennett is rung up. Tillman strikes out Scooter Gennett for the first out of the 4th.
And unlike you, I was not told.
That's the way we like to keep it. Somebody's got to keep some organization around here. You're best on your feet, though.
Still waiting to get on that email list.
I had 2 of the 3. But the third one shocked me.
Did it?
Yeah. Here's Chris Davis. He doubled his last time up. Davis has been driving the ball to the opposite field. And that batting average is on the rise because of it. Sitting at 231. He was hovering in the low 200s before the road trip. Matter of fact, the last game the Brewers played here at Miller Park, Chris Davis had a walk-off 2 RBI single against the Pirates. That was back on the 15th of May. The Orioles' Chris Davis will return tomorrow. He'll be at first base on paternity leave. Fairly new roster opportunity in Major League Baseball. Players can, I believe it's 3 days, up to 3 days.
Right. And you get to replace the player. A softer, gentler MLB.
That's right. So Chris Davis draws the walk. He's been on twice. And a man on with 1 out for Lyle Overbay, who took some paternity leave earlier this year.
And he came back and was swinging the bat much better. They didn't have that back when I played. I guess the thinking back then was, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what's your role?
I mean, you've done enough already.
We could find somebody else to get yelled at. But one of those you don't want to miss, right? I understand it.
I get that. You're right. It's good that they do that these days.
Overbay narrowly missed hitting 1 out his last time up. Sent Markakis back to the track.
One sign that you know that Chris Davis is seeing the ball much better. The fact that he's walking a little bit more, just was able to draw a walk, staying back, seeing the baseball, not trying to pull it. So he's starting to get it together out there at the plate.
O's have a big shift on, expecting Overbay to pull the ball, at least on the ground in the infield.
So tempting for him to just drop down a bunt,
isn't it? But you have the pitcher coming up next.
It's okay. Then you got Segura.
Wide open spaces over there.
Just push it over there toward third base. Why wouldn't you, right?
Two balls and a strike. And it goes to 3-1. Every time I work with John Smoltz, that's his biggest pet peeve. He's saying it's easy to drop a bunt down or move the ball in a certain direction. Can't understand it. He thinks that's how you beat the shift. Drives him crazy.
Well, that's what they want you to do. Guys with it used to be the guys that had the big shifts were the power hitters. They're very willing to give up a bunt single as opposed to giving up a home run.
3-1 and ball 4. Overbay draws the walk. So now 2 on with 1 out, and Loesch coming up. We've actually started to see it a little bit. Remember Anthony Rizzo in St. Louis? He bunted for hits twice with the big shift on. I mean, you're starting to see that. The sluggers who come up and use the part of the field. I'm asking you, how easy is it to just do that on call, to get a bunt down like that and still, Overbay doesn't run well.
As long as you don't bunt it right back to the pitcher. I mean, if you bunt it foul, that's it. I mean, okay, but you got a big area over there. I mean, between the pitcher's mound and the third baseline, in Overbay's case right there. I mean, why wouldn't you just drop it down, get a base hit? Certain game situations you don't want to do that, but in that case, I mean, you can understand. But he didn't have to worry about it because he drew a walk, got on base.
Yeah, now we'll see what they have Loesch do here. He's squaring early. Corner infielders are in. Brewers down a run. 1 out, 2 on. And Loesch takes a strike. There's an old school name for a play where you show bunt and then swing away. It's called the Butcher Boy.
Yeah, the Jim Gantner play that I like to refer to it as. He did that quite a bit, very effective with it. The one thing you want to do is make sure you hit the ball on the ground. You show bunt, you pull it back at the last minute and just chop it on the ground and take your chances. Most effective when you have the infield moving around. Shortstop, second base moving around. Corners charging.
Loesch showing bunt early. Corner infielders coming in. And he pulls the bat back and swings away. There it was. It is very difficult to get a successful bunt down when the defense has their corner infielders where the Orioles have them in this sequence. I mean, they're, what do you say, 50, 60 feet from home plate?
And that's when you do it.
Trying to rattle some teeth out there, at least the thought of it.
Yeah, corners are charging. The shortstop and second base when they're moving around, and gives you a lot of holes out there in the infield.
And here they come, and Loesch takes a called strike 3. So Loesch strikes out, the second out of the inning, and now we go back to the top half. Brewers need a big 2-out hit here from Segura. Gene Segura in our freaky fast delivery, courtesy of Jimmy John's. Quickly starting this one offensively with a leadoff stand-up triple. And then he scored the first run as Braun drove him in with a double. Didn't take long for the Brewers to get on the board today.
And they've had their chances in each and every inning. Haven't been able to come up with that big hit.
Davis and Overbay on the bags, and a big swing by Segura had a good cut. He's mad at himself for missing that one.
And that's about 91 miles an hour down the middle of the plate. These are the ones you can't miss right here. Center cut down the middle.
Segura hit the ball sharply his last time up as well. He lined out to center. And he chased that one. 0-2. The Brewers have had a man in scoring position in each of the first 4 innings today. Left 2 on in the first, but scored. Wasted a leadoff double in the second inning. Got a sac fly last inning. The 0-2. Segura takes one upstairs. Not by much.
And they've had a man at third base with less than 2 outs in each of the first 3 innings. Scored 1 time.
Now Davis and Overbay will be on the move with the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Good arms in the Baltimore outfield, especially in center and right. First time Nick Hundley catching Chris Tillman. Now in an Orioles uniform after coming up with the Padres. Traded to Baltimore Saturday. Gets it straight. And here we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tillman delivers and a liner, base hit down the line. In to score is Davis. Overbay chugging around the bases. He'll try to score. And he will score. 2 RBIs for Segura. And the Brewers are back on top.
Well, Tillman's had a tough time with that curveball, and that time hung it to Segura, who ripped it hard down the line. And Lyle Overbay able to chug all the way around from first base to give the Brewers a lead. With 2 outs, running on contact, and it was a knuckle curve that Tillman laid up and in, and Segura able to turn it around and give the Brewers a lead. There you go.
Big hit, a 2-out, 2-strike double by Segura. 4-3 Milwaukee. Double number 7 of the year for Gene. I can't see him moving out of that leadoff spot anytime soon.
Yeah, he likes it. He says he doesn't like it, but he does now. He better like it because he's going to stay there.
He can keep saying it all he wants. Well, Segura now with 14 runs batted in, puts Braun at the plate with a chance at another run. Ryan doubled in the first inning. He drove in Segura, got jammed a little bit, just muscled into right, and then he hit a rocket right at Machado his next time up. That's the way it goes in this game. Jam shots can turn into doubles and line drives out.
Yep, nobody said it was going to be fair. And he just tried to put a good swing on the baseball and hope for the best.
Segura with a big lead at second, and Braun saw it and missed it.
One of the better curveballs that he's thrown. That had a big break to it, straight down.
Back and forth they go. The Brewers now on top again. Braun trying to add to it. The 1-1. A fastball missed. That's the complementary pitch to that sweeping curveball. Not a lot of guys that can throw it that way. But the guys who do throw it, that spike curveball, usually have some of the better breaking balls in the league. I can think of Adam Wainwright. That's the way he throws his curveball.
That was the old Don Sutton curveball, the spike curveball. Not too many had a better curveball than he did.
See what it gives Braun here. 2-1, fouls it away. Went with a fastball.
But what Don Sutton used to do, he threw the big curveball, but then threw the high fastball. Tillman seems to want to throw it a little bit down in the strike zone, and the Brewers, because of that, have been able to make contact on it. You get that pitch up, that's when you get your swing and miss. Bert Blyleven did the same thing.
Yeah. Pitching in pairs.
Right.
Complementary pitches that are on the same plane. Fooling the hitters. That's the name of the game. 2-2. And a jam shot out to second. Scope will take care of Braun. And the side retired. But Gene Segura in that leadoff spot, playing run producer in the fourth. 2 hits today, a triple and a double, and he gives the Brewers the lead. Now have the lead after Gene Segura's 2 RBI double. The Brewers' current shortstop. Our trivia question has to do with former shortstops making their major league debut in the opening day lineup. It's brought to you by carsoup.com. And we give you the list here, Rock. It was Paul Molitor who made his major league debut at the shortstop position in '78, which I did not remember at all.
Me either.
Robin Yount in '74. J.J. Hardy did it as a 22-year-old.
I had Dale Swaim. Thought maybe Dale Swaim might have been on that list, but no, I had Robin and J.J. for sure.
And those 6 are the 6 in franchise history to make their major league debuts in the opening day lineup. There have been a number of players who have been on an opening day roster and haven't started for the first time with the Brewers, but it's one thing to be in that lineup as your major league debut. Machado bounces out to Reynolds. First out for Loesch. That's a hard thing to do, to make your major league debut and be in the opening day lineup. When you think about it, you know, there's September call-ups the previous year if they want to get a feel for you. Nowadays, some of the best young players come up in the minor leagues, they usually hold them back.
Right. Yeah.
Until after, you know, it's about an arbitration situation. You're trying to buy an extra year of arbitration with players, so you hold them back like they did Braun to late May.
Well, you're going to see more and more of that, the way you know, baseball has incorporated more and more young players. You got Manny Machado, born in 1992. Are you kidding me? What were you doing in '92?
Wow, I was in college in '92.
I
still had the dream alive in '92. That takes me back to a good place right there.
That means you are still thinking you might be able to play, right?
That's right. Everybody else didn't think that way, but I was still hanging on.
My playing career was over in '92. Of course, my playing career was over long before I actually retired. But you get what I mean?
I hear you, man.
Yeah. The dream was long gone.
Long gone. Sometimes players can go out the way they want to. Sometimes they're never even asked.
Right. Your services are no longer required.
Jones bounces one to Segura. He's been busy today. Knows he has to hustle, and he gets the speedy Jones for the second out of the inning.
Hey, today's Tavern of the Game winner, Mr. Lucky's Charcoal House in Valders, Wisconsin. That's up in Manitowoc County, if you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah. Hey, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to the Brewers home game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, I would imagine they specialize in brisket, that type of thing. The Charcoal House.
Can't go wrong with
some outdoor grill
restaurant named Mr. Lucky's.
Right.
There's a strike to Nelly Cruz.
Be a lot of grilling going on today, I would imagine.
Yep. The parking lots were rocking today on Memorial Day. Billows of smoke rising up from the Miller Park parking lots.
There's some Clemens bratwurst on the grill. That's what I'm doing today when we get back. Not you and I, but you're not invited.
Hey, what about a play by Reynolds across the diamond and scoop out at first. How about it? The newcomers. The former Oriole Mark Reynolds to Lyle Overbay. Fantastic on both ends. And it ends the inning. Boy, Reynolds has been a star defensively this year. Well done. 5-3 putout.
On this Memorial Day, the Brewers with a 4-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, and it's always Miller time in the Miller Lite beer pen every Friday home game. Fans 21 and over who sit in the Miller Lite beer pen in the right field bleachers will get a free Miller Lite Brewers hat. Visit Brewers.com/beer pen to get your beer pen tickets for this Friday. Cubs are in town on Friday. Come on out.
We're going to see three big league clubs here on this homestand: the Orioles, the Cubs, and then the Twins. Part of that home and home interleague series with Minnesota. Jonathan Lucroy leads off. First ball swinging. Little jam shot. Hardy and Scope are back. It'll be the second baseman, Scope, to make the play. One pitch, one out for Chris Tillman. Outstanding play by the former Oriole, Mark Reynolds, to end the last inning.
And what more can he do for this team? I mean, everybody knew he was going to be able to hit home runs, but nobody, I think, thought that he was going to be able to play the defense that he's been able to play so far. Unbelievable. At first base, third base. Doesn't matter where they put him.
Actually, a few raindrops coming down. Gomez swinging away at the first pitch. Another look to end the inning.
The way he angles back down the line, realizes he's got to get rid of it quickly on his knees, and a great pick by Overbay, who's got good soft hands over there. Tough hop, that in between hop, able to handle it.
Mark Reynolds got a major endorsement from J.J. Hardy as the Brewers were doing their homework on Reynolds and thinking about signing him. And J.J. Hardy's comments about Reynolds, everybody knows what he does at the plate. But Hardy was saying that you're going to be surprised how good Reynolds is defensively and how well he can play third base if you need him. And with the Ramos Ramirez being out on the DL, Reynolds has been a star over there defensively. Now Gomez chased one out of the zone. Tillman using the high fastball. And 2 quick outs for him in this 5th inning. 5 strikeouts, and here is Mark Reynolds, who drove in a run with a sac fly in the 3rd. Reynolds still might have the play of the year for the Brewers defensively, which came in the 8th inning of the last game here at Miller Park against the Pirates, when he started a double play that kept the Brewers in it, and then the Brewers would eventually win in the bottom of the 9th. Two outs. Brewers lead 4-3. And it's 0-2. Tillman, whose pitch count is at 84, got a chance at a quick inning here. Brewers have runs in 3 of the 4 innings against Tillman. Big 2-out hit by Segura put him ahead last inning. And Reynolds takes a called strike 3, inning over. 1-2-3 inning. 8 pitches for Tillman. Starting to see some clouds roll in here, and they are closing up the roof here at Miller Park. It's now time for you to tweet your photo to us using hashtag WisFanPhoto. We'll have a chance to put that on the air for you. It's brought to you by AT&T. We'll have the latest entry, WisFanPhoto entry, a little bit later. So the roof slowly comes to a close. Some threatening skies up above. 4-3 Brewers.
Well, they were saying some off and on rain showers today, and very rarely are they wrong. We don't care.
Either way, it's perfect either way at Miller Park. That's the beauty of it. Strike one to Steve Pearce. Pearce has had a tough time with the Loesch breaking ball today. Pearce bounced into one of two great plays by Segura to get out at third base. Part of that 3-run third. Could have been a whole lot worse. Segura's having quite the day today. 2 hits, a triple and a double. He's driven in 2. Had a 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI double that gave the Brewers the lead in the 4th.
Heads up play by Segura, but just as heads up was Mark Reynolds getting back to the bag. So those two guys in tandem able to save Loesch maybe 2 or 3 runs.
And there's that breaking ball. Loesch going with that on a 3-1 pitch.
Got a lot of confidence in that curveball. It's one of those days where he's been throwing a lot of them. It's all a matter of how it feels for him any given day. Sometimes he doesn't need it. But today apparently is a day where he really feels as though he has to incorporate it in trying to get through this Orioles lineup. They've got a lot of power, so you got to change some speeds on them. Keep them off balance. Curveball is good for that.
In and out of the glove of Lucroy. Just fouled it off, did Pearce. And we'll redo it at 3-2. Pearce has been one of the more effective part-time players. He's getting some playing time here the last couple of days with Chris Davis on paternity leave. That'll end tomorrow. Pearce with a .542 slugging percentage. That's making the most of your playing time.
It's all a matter for Buck Showalter putting his players in a position to succeed, and he certainly has been able to do that. Pearce normally pretty good against left-handed pitching, but forced in the lineup with Chris Davis not available. He's gone.
Pitch number 9. And a bouncer. Easy hop, but Reynolds bobbles, recovers, and a good strong throw for the out. And that got him a little bit. I thought it was going to be a nice easy hop for him compared to what he's been dealing with.
Well, he's able to stay in front of it, and because of that, able to make the throw and get him by a step. No panic. Knows he has time at third base.
Well, remember we were talking about Loesch and his ability to get on a roll on the mound as he deals strike one to Hardy. Loesch has retired 6 in a row, and the last 5 outs have been ground outs. That one's in the air, foul in the seats. 0-2 on J.J. Hardy. Low steals an 0-2. Hardy in the air to left. Playable for Davis. 2 outs. Well, on this Armed Forces Day, Fox Sports Supports is especially proud to recognize the Army's Gold Star Pen campaign, which honors the families of fallen service members. To learn more, we invite you to go to goldstarpens.org. And all across baseball today at 3 p.m. local, we will have a national moment of remembrance. And we will have that here shortly. I think they will finish an at-bat before they do that. So either before the bottom of the 6th or after this at-bat with Nick Hundley. Two quick outs for Kyle Lohse. 7 in a row retired. And the 0-2 to Hundley, back up the middle. Nice play. Lohse in that big old glove of his gobbles it up, and a 1-2-3 inning. Well done. Even Lohse getting into the defensive act today. And it is time now for Major League Baseball's national moment of remembrance.
A nationwide act of unity to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the United States. Please join us now in observing this brief moment of silence. Thank you. Now please direct your attention to the video board for a special message about today's national moment of remembrance.
On this day, for one brief moment, hear the silence fill the air. Think of those who walked beside us, now no longer there. Make us humble, make us knowing, and accepting what is done on this day for all the fallen. Make this nation one.
On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Roof is all closed up. Miller Park, Milwaukee, starting a nice homestand. The Brewers will have 8 over 9 days here at Miller Park. Brewers lead at 4-3 as we play in the bottom of the 6th inning. Scooter Gennett leads away, takes a strike from Tillman. 4 runs on 5 Brewer hits. Orioles scored all 3 of their runs in the 3rd inning. Had 5 hits in that inning. The O's have 8 hits today. Scooter is 0 for 2. It's the 2nd time he has led off an inning. Brewers hoping to get into that Orioles bullpen here after a quick inning from Tillman last inning. That ball's lined and caught. Scope brings it in. Another line drive out by the Brewers. Been a few of those today. Well, as promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo using hashtag #WisFanPhoto. It comes from Anna today outside Miller Park. Got a nice group enjoying Brewers baseball. Make sure you use that hashtag #WisFanPhoto. It's brought to you by AT&T.
Bundled up for a nice day like today.
Yeah, it could have been from earlier in the year, huh? Snuck that one by us. See, you're always attentive to the details, partner.
Doesn't appear to be that cold outside today.
That's right. Davis, big fly, deep right center. Chris Davis, a long home run. And the Brewers up 5-3. No doubt about that one. And the power bat continues to the opposite field for Davis.
I hate to be a broken record, but notice the direction that he hit that baseball. I mean, he's starting to see the baseball well. A 4-seam fastball from Tillman right down the middle of the plate. Doesn't try and pull it. Look how nice and quiet he is. And those quick hands for Davis, able to knock that one out of here, out into the Toyota territory.
He hit it up there.
Not many right-handers can hit him that far to the opposite field.
That was something. And Overbay now swinging a foul back. Well, Davis has found his stroke. 2 hits today, a double and a homer, both to the opposite field. He has also walked and scored, has not been retired this afternoon. 7 homers now for Davis, 17 runs batted in. Hitting at the bottom of the order. That's not bad for a 7th place hitter.
Just nice and quick. That front shoulder stays closed, and look how far that one goes to the opposite field. There you go.
Yeah, he knew it. We all did.
That's the old Kirk Gibson move, right? World Series home run.
See, when you sit that close and you feel like you're involved in the action, you feel like you've had something to do with that. Like either you've called it or you put the whammy on the pitcher in some way. Yeah. And it works.
Have a direct impact on the game when they're that close.
I know it. We do too up here.
You never know. He might have been getting on him a little bit, the pitcher. Startled him a bit. Kind of got him out of his game.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it could just be the way you sit there. Overbay in a hole 1 and 2. They still have the big shift on for him. Overbay walked his last time up and then came around to score. He scored all the way from first on that double by Segura. Home run number 7 for Davis, giving the Brewers a 2-run lead. 3-2, and Overbay fouls it off. Tillman coming off his worst start of his season. The Orioles opening day starter. Even though he gave up 8 runs in 1 inning, he still did not get the loss in that game. That was a no decision. Overbay in the air to right. That's got a chance, and there it goes. Lyle Overbay up into the Lowe's level. 6-3 Milwaukee as the Brewers get major production from the bottom of their order.
Yeah, 7-8 hitters. I tell you, these guys have been on base the whole day. They've been on base now 5 times. 2 homers, a double, and 2 walks for Davis and Overbay.
And there are the O's for Overbay.
Overbay sees the baseball pretty well against Tillman. And gets a pitch. He almost hit one out his first time up. Continues good success against this guy.
That's his 4th career home run against Tillman. And a no-doubter. Lowe's level bomb for Lyle Overbay. Great shot.
And the O's have it.
The Orioles have their O's and the Brewers have their O's. And Loesch down on strikes. 3rd time that Tillman has struck him out. That's all right, Kyle. Just handle your business on the mound. Top of the order here is Segura. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Started the game offensively with a triple and a run scored. Drove in 2 with a double. Tillman is at the end. Pitching change with Segura coming up. We'll take a break. In this 6th inning by Davis and Overbay. And the day is over for Chris Tillman. New pitcher for Baltimore is Ryan Webb, former Miami Marlin.
Yeah, pretty good numbers. 22nd appearance, a .348 earned run average. He's been very good. You know, since the beginning part of April, he kind of struggled, but the last 19 appearances for Webb, a .196 earned run average. That's 4 earned runs in the last 18 and a third innings. Has not allowed a home run. The only home run he allowed, I should say, was back on April 4th to Miguel Cabrera. Not a bad hitter.
He was one of the top relievers in the National League last year, pitching for the Marlins. And he will take over here in the 6th inning. 2 runs are in. Top of the order, Segura coming up with 2 outs. And the base is empty. Chris Tillman goes 5 2/3. 6 earned runs allowed. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Back-to-back poor starts by the Orioles opening day starter Chris Tillman, giving up 12 earned runs in his last 2 starts. Segura's had a great day. at the plate and in the field. He's 2 out of 3 at the plate today, and his out was a line drive right to Jones in center field. He hit that one sharply. 0-2 the count on Segura. The 0-2 from Webb. Little fly ball to Cruz. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers play long ball here in this 6th inning. They go back to back for the 2nd time this year. It was Davis first. And then Lyle Overbay, his 2nd of the year. The O's are out. And the Brewers lead 6-3. Lock down the O's, and the Brewers scoring some runs. Sets us up for tomorrow. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Wei-Yin Chen on the mound for the O's against Matt Garza for the Brewers.
Yeah, pitched pretty well his last time out on Thursday. Left the game against the Braves with a 4-2 lead. That was that interesting 7th inning for the Brewers. 4 runs in 6 1/3 innings for Garza his last time out.
Wei-Yin Chen, the talented left-hander. You'll see a lineup change tomorrow. Garza still trying to get it turned around a little bit. He's been okay, or at least was on the road trip, but still not pitching like he wants. He's been frustrated. He was going along pretty well in Atlanta until he hit the wall in that 7th inning. Loesch, meanwhile, continues to carry on. He has retired 8 in a row. He gave up a leadoff single to Scope in the 4th inning. That's been the last base runner. Orioles scored 3 on 5 hits in the 3rd. Nothing since. Scope fouls it off. Pitch count at 92. Loesch trying to make it another quality start. That's at least 6 innings and at least 3 runs or fewer to make it a quality start. Loesch has 8 consecutive going. That ball's lined deep left field. Got a chance to go, and it is gone. Out of here in a hurry. Jonathan Scope showing some big power. And the 4th run for the Orioles. 6-4 Milwaukee now.
Man, first time Kyle Loesch has given up more than 3 runs in any start this year. Number 8 hitter for the Orioles has swung the bat well. Hit the ball deep into center field. Caught by Gomez his first time up. Base hit to center. Now a line drive out of here to left. Pretty good bat.
In the soup in a hurry at the Friday's Grill. Steve Clevenger is pinch hitting for Baltimore. One of 3 Orioles catchers they are carrying. That might change tomorrow. Clevenger, the former Cub. I remember Dale Swaim always liked this guy when he was, even when he was here in Milwaukee, and then when he was in Chicago.
He's a grinder. I mean, a guy that, you know, get his uniform dirty, do whatever he could to help the ball club, and a lot of injury problems. I think it was shoulder problems with the Cubs. Remember a couple of series he really swung the bat well against Milwaukee a couple of years ago.
Came up with the Cubs, traded to the Orioles last year. Clevenger came through the Cubs system as a catcher, but Swaim liked his bat enough where he tried to use him in the field a little bit. Played a little third base, a little first. 0-2. Fouls it back. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Kinsler loosening in case Los cannot get through the 7th inning. The 0-2 on the way. Fouls it off again. Tough at bat going here. Orioles grab the lead in the 3rd. Brewers regain the lead in the 4th. They've scored the last 5 runs. There's a shot foul.
Oh, nice effort. Been watching Mark Reynolds.
Can't teach people to care, Rock. You can't. That's passion right there.
It's beautiful.
Like lay out.
Look at here.
Oh, took a bad hop on.
That was sweet.
He was there.
Good for him.
That's risky in shorts too.
A for effort right there.
Yep.
Knees all skinned up.
Appreciate that. Another foul ball. Pitch count rising. Loesch nearing the end, you would figure. Lucroy on his way out just to give him a breather, if nothing else.
Yeah, 102 pitches. They got activity down in that bullpen from Milwaukee. It's been a grinder for Kyle today, although he's been pretty efficient the last couple of innings before that home run.
Yeah, Loesch had retired 8 in a row. The 8th place hitter in each lineup with homers today. Overbay and Scope. Scope has 2 hits. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one's between the lines. Finally, Jeanette will put him away. So Clevenger is retired in a pinch hit appearance. First out of the inning.
Hey, it's a border battle here at Miller Park. That's next Monday, June 2nd, and Tuesday the 3rd, when the Brewers take on their interleague rivals, the Minnesota Twins, with state bragging rights on the line. Reserve your spot today at 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com.
That'll start a home and home with the Twins. 2 here at Miller Park, and then both clubs go to Minneapolis, 2 at Target Field, site of the All-Star game this year. After a 10-pitch battle with Clevenger, top of the order now, Markakis. You figured Loesch will be allowed to continue as long as the Orioles don't put a base runner on. Once a guy gets on, I would imagine that would do it. Fastball missed, not by much. 2 balls and a strike. Renicky has his bullpen ready. Kinsler is available to come in.
They get through Markakis, and you've got a long line of right-handed hitters coming up.
Another close one.
Orioles bench is full of left-handers. Of course, only 2 left, Flaherty and Loaf.
(3-1). That's in there.
The fact that Chris Davis is not here really hurts the Orioles. That's an understatement, but not even able to use him off the bench.
Now Davis will be back tomorrow. His wife delivering a baby girl yesterday on paternity leave. 3-2 is in the air. Playable for Davis. And a good comeback by Kyle Loesch against Markakis. So 2 outs. And Renicky's coming anyway with Manny Machado coming up. Renicky's going to make the call to the bullpen. So Loesch 6 2/3 innings and 4 runs, and he is in line for his 7th win of the year. Nice hand on his way out.
Brewers lead this one 6-4. And an update on Jim Henderson. He was back with the team today after an outing Friday with Huntsville. It was a perfect outing for him. 2 strikeouts, but not exactly perfect health-wise. He felt some irritation on some of the pitches in that outing. So Ron Renicky said he is back here with the club to get some more treatment and further evaluation. They were hoping that he would be ready to go from the disabled list after those 3 outings. So while Ron Renicky said it was a minor setback, they're hoping it's nothing serious.
All right, Sophia, thanks. That's a tough blow for Jim Henderson, who has already had 1 shoulder surgery. He knows what that pain feels like. Well, with 2 outs and the bases empty, Rockets going to be Brandon Kinsler to try to get through this 7th inning. Manny Machado coming up.
Well, Kinsler, 19th appearance for Brandon. He's been pretty good as of late. Kinsler last pitched yesterday, against the Marlins, pitched a scoreless inning. He's been very good in his last 7 appearances. He's allowed only 1 run in 5 1/3 innings.
Power sinker. Kinsler able to turn up the volume a little bit coming off the Loesch fastball. It's a bit of an adjustment for the Oriole hitters. Machado with a base hit today. He's 1 out of 3. Everything's been on the ground for him. And he gets jammed there. Segura, plenty of time. And Kinsler makes it look easy. 2 pitches and ends the 7th inning. The Brewers take a lead into the bottom of the 7th. Now we turn it over to Rob Edwards, the voice of Miller Park, and Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America.
Join your Milwaukee Brewers and all of Major League Baseball as we honor our great nation with the singing of God Bless America. Led this afternoon by Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers Guest Relations Department.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And we invite you to stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the all-new Chevy Silverado. Game summary brought to you by Toyota. Gene Segura has had a great day today. Started it offensively with a triple and then scored the very next batter. Ryan Braun drove him in. Brewers were on the board first. Segura then pulled one with 2 strikes and 2 outs. He plated 2 there, gave the Brewers the lead, and then a couple of 400-foot plus home runs. Chris Davis and Lyle Overbay. Back-to-back homers in the 6th. The O's are out against the O's. And it's 6-4 Milwaukee as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kyle Lohse in line for his 7th win of the year. 6 2/3 innings with 4 earned runs allowed. And now, Rock, the Orioles are back into their bullpen. And it'll be Brad Brock.
Yep, 6th appearance. He's been second time he's been with the Orioles. He was called up from AAA Norfolk for the 2nd time. That was on May 16th. He was also with the team from May 2nd to the 6th. So Brock getting another opportunity. A .432 earned run average. He has allowed a couple of home runs.
Orioles coming to Milwaukee after a 4-game series split against the Indians at home. They did win yesterday. Brewers trying to put a win on the board first day of this long homestand. 8 games over 9 days. Braun's double produced a run in the 1st inning. He lined out in the 3rd, and then he grounded out weakly in the 4th. Ryan now at 21 runs batted in. Missing a couple of weeks on the disabled list with that oblique injury. Knocked him out of the lineup for a couple of days on the last road trip as well. He had to come out of a game early, and then he missed the first game of the Marlins series. Since he's come back, he's hit 2nd. 2 good results. This is his 3rd consecutive game batting 2nd.
And except for maybe not hitting home runs, he really hadn't shown any signs of any problems with that oblique. That's a good sign. And seems like the thumb's doing all right as well. So a couple of things that the Brewers are concerned about with Braun. So far, so good. After coming off the disabled list.
And a bouncer stabbed by Brock. Nice play on the mound. And Braun is retired. A couple of good defensive plays taking hits away from Braun. It's been a good game defensively by both teams. The Brewers have had some spectacular plays behind Loesch today. That'll bring up Lucroy.
Yeah, some real good infield work on the left side for Segura and Reynolds today. These are two very good defensive ball clubs. I mean, the Orioles are tops in the American League in fielding percentage. Brewers are 5th in the NL.
Orioles have Gold Glovers, former Gold Glovers everywhere. Adam Jones has 3 in center field. J.J. Hardy, long since thought to be one of the best defenders at the shortstop position. Won a Gold Glove last year. Machado, Markakis. I saw Manny Machado make a play last year. It is still to date the best play I have ever seen a third baseman make ever. Backhanded play which took him into foul territory, probably where Ed Cedar is standing right now, and he threw a seed to first in the air to get an out. Incredible. A shortstop coming up in the Orioles system. They moved him to third just to get him to the big leagues, get his bat to the big leagues.
Yeah, they already had a shortstop.
Oh, we have video proof. Yes, watch. Look at this throw. Nice going by the truck.
Yeah, how about that? Bobbles it. Bare hand pickup. Who's running? That's what I want to know.
You know, I called that game, and I can't remember who it was.
Took him a while to get down there. Made for a great play, though, in a replay. If he's safe, you never see that again.
Right. Brad Weimer going into the Weimer vault. That's the big dog vault right there.
He's
when you
always
start breaking
prepared,
out that kind of video.
He's something else.
Well done. Lucroy, ground ball to Scope, and the second out.
Yeah, with all-inclusive areas, tailgate facilities, and more. It's no wonder Miller Park was recently voted the state's top location for a group outing to book a group event at Wisconsin's premier entertainment venue. Visit brewers.com/groups.
Here's Carlos Gomez. You think it's too much of an overstatement, that play at third?
No, I think it's a great play.
How about, you've seen a lot more baseball than I have.
All I'm saying is, I mean, had it not been for a very slow runner down the line, that play would be insignificant, right? I agree with you. That's a tremendous play. Remember, it's almost like that Brooks Robinson play in the World Series.
It is, except Robinson's didn't make it all the way in the air. It was a hop.
AstroTurf, what, in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. Good call. You start throwing Brooks Robinson out there with Manny Machado, you know you're special, and they're doing that in Baltimore. One of the greatest defensive third basemen ever, Brooks Robinson. Legendary Oriole player.
23 years with the Orioles, wasn't it? 23 years.
They had some great teams, didn't they, in the late 60s, 70s. Won a World Series in 1970. Their first World Series was 66. With Hank Bauer as manager. Gomez in the air to left, shallow. Coming in is Cruz. And that will retire the side. 3 up and 3 down for Brock. 6-4 Brew Crew. We're on our way to the 8th. More interleague baseball with the Orioles at Miller Park today, and we've seen some stellar D in this game. Carlos Gomez got it started, made a running catch, and then check out these plays by Segura. That was a big inning. Loesch had given up 3 runs in that inning, got not 1 but 2 outs at third base. He also started a double play on his own. Reynolds may have the play of the day, secured by Lyle Overbay at first.
Yeah, those 2 plays by Segura and Reynolds in that third inning might have saved the day for Reynolds and the Brewers. That could have been a huge inning for Baltimore, but limited them to 3 runs.
Orioles had 3 runs on 5 hits. The last 2 outs in that inning were at third base. And then Loesch settled down after that. At one point, retired 8 straight. Loesch ends up going 6 2/3 with 4 earned runs. In line for the win. Kinsler back at it here in the 8th. Adam Jones starts it. Jones drove in 2 in that third inning. Had a triple, a 2 RBI triple. 2 out of 3 today. It took Kinsler just 2 pitches to get through the 7th. He came in for Loesch with 2 outs. And he retired Machado quickly. So Renicky will let him ride here in the 8th. Part of the order up with Jones, Cruz, and Pierce. Broken bat. The glove comes off. It's right to Jeanette. Equipment flying everywhere. The first out. That was scary.
Incidental glove flying off. You throw the glove at a baseball, it's an automatic triple. And this one coming off, just trying to get the hand up there, getting out of the way, and no harm, no foul. An easy throw for Jeanette.
Like Charlie Brown, man. Glove on the ground, out at first. That's a little known rule you just mentioned, though, that
right.
You throw a glove at a baseball, a triple.
Yeah.
You see it all the time in batting practice. Can't do it in the game. Can't throw any equipment at a baseball. It has to be on your person. One gone for Nelson Cruz. And he pops it up. Long run, and that's going to slice into the seats. Gives us a chance to check in with Sophia. What do you have, Sophia?
Brian Irving Falou joined the team from AAA Nashville today, and Ron Renicky saying he's similar in versatility to Elian Herrera, the difference being that Falou is more of a natural shortstop, Herrera playing more second and third, but he's another switch hitter, and Ron Renicky said he's really good defensively. One thing he really likes about Falou is that he doesn't strike out a lot, so he said it gives him some flexibility in terms of putting the ball in play and using him off the bench.
Yeah, right now the Brewers really don't have anybody on the bench when they have their regular lineup out there that can take you out of the ballpark. Of course, Ricky Weeks has been coming off the bench quite a bit. He does have home run power, but a lot of the guys more contact type hitters. Falou is a guy that you can use in any type of scenario. You can throw him in the outfield and the infield, and he will give you a tough at bat.
Now the Brewers are pinned down a little bit with their bench currently. Once Ramirez returns, you'll essentially have a platoon over at first and Reynolds and Overbay, and a platoon at second and Jeanette and Weeks. So you have to have some other versatile pieces there. The 4 or 5 that make up your bench. So you need guys who can play the infield and the outfield, and there just aren't a lot of guys who can do both and hit for power. That's just non-existent in the game.
Yeah.
Two and two. Nelson Cruz fouls it off. Cruz is having a huge year to start. American League leader in homers and RBIs. Combine his slugging percentage and his on base percentage, and his OPS is just under 1,000. Significant production. Signed late. Didn't get the kind of offers that he thought he would. But he's making it count. 3-2. And he's hanging tough. Cruz started his career with the Brewers. His first career hit came as a Milwaukee Brewer. I believe it was against the Reds in 05. Was a September call-up that year, and then traded from the Brewers to the Texas Rangers that offseason. That was the deal that sent Carlos Lee to the Rangers, and the Brewers got in return Francisco Cordero, among others. Kevin Minch, I think, Lance Nix. Brewers got a closer out of the deal. Carlos Lee then eventually signed with the Astros. Remember that $100 million deal with Houston?
Yeah, it didn't go so well for the Astros.
3-2 pitch again. Cruz takes ball 4. Wow. Long battle. Cruz wins it, and now the Orioles bring the tying run to the plate.
That's a pretty good sinking fastball, and not many hitters are going to take that pitch. Didn't miss by much, but enough.
And here is Steve Pearce. Pearce has some pop. He doesn't play much. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in.
Kinsler really concentrating on keeping the baseball down to make sure he does keep it in the ballpark.
And a bouncing ball. Reynolds has it to second for 1. The turn by Jeanette in time. Double play. The Brewers go around the horn right on cue. Kinsler gets his ground ball. And the Brewers lead. We head to the bottom of the 8th.
A 2-run lead over Baltimore as they start the first of a 3-game series in interleague play. We're getting set for Brewers Live postgame on the way. Kind of made a big deal that Chris Davis wasn't around for this game for Baltimore. Chris Davis was around for the Brewers, of course. Our Marshfield Clinic shining moment, the first of back-to-back home runs.
Oh, that's right. And you know, Chris Davis, what a bomb to right center field. And, you know, his stroke is coming along. And I tell you, the reason why is that he's going the other way. And then all of a sudden followed by Lyle Overbay, who hits his second home run of the year, and he gets the big O from the boys.
Just the second time the Brewers have hit back-to-back home runs. We'll talk about it here from the Brewer Crew coming up. Brewers Live after the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig, thank you. Yeah, you got to go back to May 10th against the Yankees. The Brewers went back-to-back. Lucroy and Ramirez off of CC Sabathia. 6-4 Crew, bottom 8. Here's Reynolds. By the way, those two home runs they were referencing, both of them with some mileage on them. Chris Davis's home run was measured at 446. Lyle Overbay's at 423. And those are the two that have the Brewers on top by 2. A lot of connections between these two organizations. And there's another one. Frankie Rodriguez, who was traded to Baltimore last year. He's getting ready for a save opportunity, perhaps.
No, it stays like this, he will certainly be in the game. The Brewers are hoping for a couple of runs, get some insurance. A little bit of a cushion.
Been a while since K-Rod notched a save. You got to go back to Friday week ago, the beginning of the road trip 11 days ago in Chicago. He's thrown twice on the road trip, just his tune-up. So as Reynolds strikes out, 95-mile-an-hour heat from Brad Brock.
A tall, lanky right-hander has some pretty good velocity on that fastball. He's 6'6". Throwing on that downward plane, gets a little bit of movement. There's not a lot of base runners since he's come in.
Scooter Gennett with one away. Down the left field line, slicing Gennett, and that is fair. Just inside the line, Gennett with a double. Scooter with his first hit of the day.
He does that fairly well. Stays right on it. A pitch away from him and just slices it out to the left field. And this time he's able to tuck one inside that left field line about 3 feet. And a one-out double. Boy, the Brewers could use another run. Get some insurance. Get that run back.
Well, Gennett impressive, able to keep that one fair. Didn't have a whole lot of slice on it. And that gives Chris Davis a swing here with a man on. He has been swinging the bat well. Davis has not been retired today. Had a double to right in the second inning. He walked and scored in the fourth, and then he hit that long home run up into the Toyota territory back in the sixth inning. Davis almost did some damage to that SUV up there. That's not one of those deals where if you hit it, you win it, right? We don't have that going, do we?
I'm not sure.
Maybe the broadcaster wins it if you hit it.
Whoever calls it?
Yeah, whoever calls it.
Pretty good chance you could get it before you.
That's for sure. No question about that. What about Joe Block, though? What inning was that? That was in the sixth. Too bad.
I think you'd get it before Joe.
I don't know.
I think you're ahead of Joe. You're behind Uke by a long shot.
You underestimate Uke's power, even with his partners.
Although, what does Joe drive? I'm not sure. You think he needs it?
It's got a nice little 10-speed. It's the 1-2, and it is down and away. 2-2. There's Joe's wagon. Two and two. Davis pulls one in the hole. Machado off his gloves. And everybody's safe. That'll be a base hit for Chris Davis, his third of the afternoon.
Staying on the baseball, his third hit. He's been on base all 4 times. 3 hits and a walk for Chris Davis. Much better at staying on the baseball, not necessarily trying to pull it. Just out of the reach of Machado out there at third. And no play for Hardy.
Machado's been dealing with a groin injury. You can tell he's a little bit hobbled. Even if he gets it in his glove, he's going to have a tough time throwing out Davis. If only the other Chris Davis was here today. Orioles will get him back tomorrow. First and third for Overbay. Bottom of the order has done some damage today. Davis hitting 7th, Overbay hitting 8th. On base 6 times. 4 hits and 2 walks and 2 homers. Ricky Weeks ready to make a pinch hit appearance for the pitcher Kinsler next. Probably see Weeks in the starting lineup tomorrow against Wei-Yin Chen, the left-hander. Big run over third. Jeanette, a 1-out double. Runners at the corners. And a strike, 2-2. Just caught the edge.
Brewers have had a rough time driving in runs with man third base, less than 2 outs. They've done it a couple of times today, but have had 3 other opportunities. Got to cash in here, get that third run.
Orioles are looking for a ground ball double play here. That would get them out of the inning. They're going to take a shot to turn it. Willing to take the risk that the run would score. Sometimes you'll see teams in a spot like this, down 2 late, bring their infield in to try to cut off a run. Buck Showalter is going to take his chances. Something you can do when your defense is that good. Two. Tied him up. Full count to Overbay.
You figure Davis is going to take off. Making a double play opportunity a little bit more difficult for the Orioles.
Payoff pitch. Davis goes, and it's ball 4. Well, the bottom of the order continues. Overbay reaches for the 3rd time. And the bases are loaded as Buck Showalter goes to the bullpen phone as Ricky Weeks will bat.
Well, it's not Showalter, it's Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. Let's go out and have a chat with his right-hander. Yeah, Davis and Overbay combined have been on 7 times today. Not bad for the bottom of the order.
Yeah, scored 4 of the 6 runs. Dave Wallace trying to get his pitcher through this inning with the Brewers loading him up in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Ricky Weeks can deliver a knockout punch here. He's done a good job as a pinch hitter. Weeks is 6 for 20. That's a .300 batting average. Jeanette, Davis, and Overbay on the bags. Brewers lead by 2. oohs and ahs on that big swing by Weeks. With a sellout crowd of nearly 43,000 on Memorial Day. Quickly 0-2 on Ricky. One gone. Here's the 0-2. And inside, a ball. 1-2 the count.
Ricky thinks it hit him.
And Renick's coming out now. It had a funny sound to it. Let's see.
Asking home plate umpire for a review, perhaps. Let's see. I'm not sure if. I mean, if it barely touched him, it's not going to really have much of a bearing on the way the baseball comes in.
Sometimes you use your ears as much as your eyes on a play like that. Weeks right away said it hit him. But it stands. 1-2. Hundley slowly going through the signs. Big pitch coming. And Ricky fouls it back. Ricky's had a close eye on this Oriole organization this year. His younger brother Jamal is in AAA with the Orioles. He's down in Norfolk. He said he's having a good year down there. Hitting near 300. Second baseman.
Well, he's been with the big club for 3 games. Didn't spend much time, but back down in the minors.
1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. He struck him out on a slider. And a big out for Brock. Second out of the inning. Bases still loaded. And back to the top of the order.
They have 3 chances now for the Brewers with a man at third and less than 2 outs and not able to cash in. Now it's going to take a base hit. All fastballs until that slider that time from Brock, and it was a good one.
Well, Segura can make a very good day a great day with a base hit here. He's 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And a spinner in there for a strike. Backed him out. Looking ahead to the Oriole 9th inning. They'll have 6, 7, and 8 coming up. J.J. Hardy, Nick Hundley, and Jonathan Scope. Anybody gets on, a pinch hitter. Broken bat. Hardy makes the play to second, and the Brewers let an opportunity go by. They strand the bases loaded, but a 2-run lead, and they'll give the ball to their closer, the former Oriole, Frankie Rodriguez. K-Rod on the mound when we continue. Last call for the Baltimore Orioles. Interleague baseball on this Memorial Day. The Brewers lead 6-4, and they'll give the ball to Frankie Rodriguez, our Columbia St. Mary's save tracker. He has 17, and that is the best in all of baseball.
And 321 career saves, tied for 15th on the all-time list with Jose Mesa. Last pitch yesterday against the Marlins. Kind of a tune-up outing for K-Rod. It hadn't been many opportunities for him, particularly on that last road trip. Gave up a run in an inning of work. Has 30 strikeouts and 25 innings of work so far this year.
K-Rod giving up a home run yesterday in Miami to Marcell Ozuna. Not a save situation. Last two outings have been tune-ups. Looking for save number 18. It'll be J.J. Hardy to lead off for the Orioles. Brewers lead by 2, each club with 9 hits. Last year, just before the trade deadline, the Orioles made a trade to acquire Frankie Rodriguez with the Brewers. A swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, good curveball by Frankie. Fastball, then curveball. Pretty good chance you're going to see a changeup here. Hardy just not able to wait back off the outside corner and down.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Hardy in the air to left. Routine for Davis. 1 gone.
And it was the changeup, and he kept it down in the strike zone.
That'll bring up Nick Hundley.
He got ahead with the fastball, threw him a curveball, and then got him with a changeup right on the end of the bat. So Hardy saw all 3 pitches from Francisco Rodriguez in that at bat.
Hundley takes a ball. Now, when the Brewers traded K-Rod, he thought, at least he said in spring training, that this would be a spot he'd like to come back, and was hopeful that the Brewers would extend him an offer. And they did. Was figuring to be the setup man all the way through spring training, but the shoulder injuries of Jim Henderson in spring training pushed K-Rod into the closer's role, and he has been lights out. Henderson had a little bit of a setback, as Sophia reported earlier, after his outing the other day. So while Henderson is on the DL, K-Rod continues to close. Brewers got a minor league third baseman, a hitter back, lower level minor leaguer, a guy by the name of Nick Delmonico, who is in Brevard County this year. So you got a player, and then you traded a player who you got right back in free agency. Two and one to Hundley. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, no walks in this situation. You got Scope coming up, the number 8 hitter, who has been swinging the bat better than any of the Orioles today. He's been hitting everything on the nose, all 3 at bats.
Scope homered his last time up against Loesch. Full count to Hundley.
You wonder why he's swinging at that. That looked like ball 4.
Hundley traded Saturday from San Diego to Baltimore. Had 1 day to acclimate. And here he is playing in his first game for the O's today. Figures to get most of the work behind the plate. Payoff pitch from K-Rod. And a bouncer. Reynolds, tough hop, snags it. Throw to first in time. A tremendous play by Mark Reynolds on a wicked hop.
He got tired of hearing about Manny Machado. Everybody talking about how good of a third baseman Machado is, but I'll tell you, Mark Reynolds has been playing a slick third base today. in the hole, down the line, every throw right on the money. And what a day for Reynolds defensively.
That is 2 fantastic plays by Reynolds in this game. The former Oriole hurting his old club with his glove. Also has an RBI today. O's down to their last out. K-Rod, 2 outs, facing Scope. In the air to left, pretty well hit. Davis going back at the wall. It is gone. Jonathan Scope does it again, his 2nd home run. And it's a 1-run game.
Have a first pitch curveball slider, and Scope able to wait back and knock it out of here. My goodness, the number 8 hitter. Number 8 hitter is having a pretty good day today. Lyle Overbay, now Scope, a breaking ball away, and he waits back and knocks it out of here. Boy, have a day.
And right off the end of the bat, he's got some serious pop. He hit a rocket out of here in the 7th. Davis gave it a good look, but that was too far gone, and Scope makes this a 1-run game.
And now you got another power hitter coming up. The pitcher's spot is up, and another guy that could take you out of the ballpark.
Delman Young finding a home in Baltimore, and a first pitch swinger if there ever was one. Young always ready to hack. Got to be careful with this first one. Brewers lead by a run, and Young swings and lines it into left, a base hit.
First pitch breaking pitches. These guys are all over and like they know it's coming. That's amazing. Home run, now line drive to left. 2 pretty good breaking pitches. Check this out. Watch this pitch. That's a good pitch by K-Rod. It might have had the plate, but it was down, and Delman Young hits it like he knows it's coming.
David Lowe will pinch run for the Orioles. High fives for Young. Pinch hit single. Well, now the screws tightening up here. Brewers lead by a run. Orioles have the go-ahead run at the plate. Nick Markakis. Two quick outs and a 2-run lead. And now this game is tight.
And back-to-back pitches, both breaking balls, home run single.
Markakis 1 for 4 today. Singled and scored a run, part of that 3-run 3rd inning. 2-0.
And you wonder how much those 2 breaking pitches that got hit hard are in the head of Francisco Rodriguez now. Back-to-back fastballs, not even close.
Well, you know what looms large right now is the fact that the Brewers had the bases loaded and 1 out last inning and could not score. K-Rod hoping they didn't need him. 2-0 on Markakis. In the air, left center field, trouble. Low, racing around the bags, and he is going to score, and this game is all tied at 6. A double and an RBI, and K-Rod blows the save. 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs by the Orioles.
And nice swing by Markakis. Check it out, a fastball. Once again, K-Rod getting behind in the count. Markakis gets a pitch out away from him. He hammers that one in the gap. The only chance the Brewers had there is that ball bounced over the fence. It didn't. Low, the pinch runner. No chance he's not going to try and score with 2 outs, and he scores easily. And now the go-ahead run at second base.
And here is Machado, who's 1 for 4 today. First pitch breaking ball misses. Well, that unraveled quickly for Frankie Rodriguez. Three consecutive hits. Two and 0 on Machado with Adam Jones due up next. K-Rod trying to get this one back to the dugout to give the Brewers a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Brewers are where they want to be in the order. They've got Braun, Lucroy, and Gomez due up. Three and 0. And you wonder if Machado has the green light here.
They might have it. I mean, K-Rod not sure what to throw these guys. Fastballs, slider's been hit. Can't throw the changeup for a strike here today.
Lost him, walked him on 4 straight. And it has unraveled here for Frankie Rodriguez. 4 consecutive base runners. All of it coming with 2 outs. That outing on Wednesday and Sunday, tune-up outings, not save situations. The game on the line here as Adam Jones digs in with 2 on and 2 out. Jones drove in a pair with a double in the 3rd. He's 2 for 4 today. Long look by Rodriguez, and that one missed badly.
Yeah, Frankie having a tough time throwing anything for a strike now. I think it's in his head. And those 2 back-to-back sliders that the Orioles hit, and hit hard, Scope and Young. I think really surprised Rodriguez because both of those pitches not bad. First pitches hit hard, and since that time he's had a tough time locating anything. I don't blame him.
Got to make a pitch. Tying run at second, or rather the go-ahead run at second, and he misses again. 6 consecutive balls thrown by K-Rod as Rob Wooten starts to get loose in a hurry. You never want to take your closer out of a game. You wonder if K-Rod puts Jones on, if that would be it for him.
Yeah, because you have Cruz coming up. I mean, he's a tough customer up there at the plate.
And the sellout crowd, who was standing just a moment ago, silent. In the air to center. Jones sends it deep. Gomez is there, and the side is retired. Wow. Just missed it, didn't he? 2 runs in, though, a blown save, and the Brewers head to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 6. Brewers are hoping it's a walk-off base hit this afternoon. Memorial Day baseball here at Miller Park. Darren O'Day, the sidewinding right-hander, is out of Buck Showalter's bullpen, and he hasn't given up much all year.
No, he has not. 21st appearance for him, and earned run average under 1. There's a big stat right now, home runs. He's only given up 2. Got a number of right-handed batters to deal with. Braun, Lucroy, Gomez, and he is particularly tough against righties.
Orioles get 2 runs with 2 outs in the 9th inning on 3 straight hits and a walk. Home run by Scope and then an RBI double by Markakis to tie this game. Brewers had a chance to add to their lead with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th. They couldn't score. Brock did a good job for Baltimore out of the bullpen with a couple of scoreless innings. So here we go. Bottom of the 9th, tie game. Braun, Lucroy, and Gomez. Ryan drove in the first run today with an RBI double in the first inning. All 7 of his home runs this year have come on the road. It's been since May 22nd of last season. His last home run at Miller Park. Ryan's hit the ball sharply today. He's 1 out of 4, but 2 of his outs have been hard hit balls. He lined out to third and then hit a shot back to the pitcher Brock, who made a nice play on him. Big sweeping sidearm breaking ball in there for a strike.
Yeah, everything moving for O'Day. I mean, the fastball has some sink on it. He'll put it in on right-handed batters. Then they'll throw that frisbee slider. Look at the release point on that pitch. Not a lot of downward movement on it, but it will spin quite a bit and go away from the right-handed hitter.
A former Ranger, Darren O'Day, 3rd year with the Orioles now. And Braun, jam shot foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Day has found another gear in the American League. Last year had an ERA of 2.18. Year before that at 2.28. And he pitches a lot. 69 games and 68 games in the last 2 years. Braun in a hole, 1-2. Fights it off.
A tough pitch to get a piece of, up and in. When you're facing O'Day, you're right-handed, you're figuring he's going to be throwing that slider on the outside corner, so you're leaning that way. Braun able to fight it off on a pitch up and in. He doesn't throw hard, about 88, 89 with the fastball, but it's all about movement.
See what he has in mind for him here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2 now. Braun hitting in the 2 spot in the order, leading off this 9th inning. Lucroy hitting 3rd would be next. It's the other part of Braun's game. He definitely brings the power aspect to it, but he's so fast. Just getting on base, you can start to do a few things offensively. Hit and runs and stolen base attempts. Braun into center field. Jones got a late break, and he's got it. Out number 1.
Yeah, good at bat for Ryan Braun. It was a 6-pitch at bat. O'Day able to get ahead of him very quickly. 0-2. His fastball, then slider. There's a slider, the kind of a backdoor slider, and then Braun goes to work. He's trying to protect the plate until O'Day makes a mistake, and finally on pitch number 6 makes a mistake, and Braun hits it hard, but Adam Jones able to make the catch.
1 gone. O'Day facing Jonathan Lucroy now. Eerily quiet inside Miller Park. Lucroy trying to get them cheering again. Gomez waiting on deck. 2-0 on Lucroy. Lucroy and Gomez, the two hottest hitters in the Brewers lineup. Lucroy looking for his first hit of the day. Breaking ball strike. Lucroy disagrees.
The front door slider, not by design, but pretty effective. You put it right on the corner.
Jonathan started the day third in the league in batting. He's trying to extend a 7-game hit streak. And the 2-1 is outside, ball 3. O'Day doesn't walk many, just 4 walks in 20 games this year, to go along with 16 strikeouts. You figure he'll be around the plate. The 3-1, Lucroy into left center, and that's going to fall, a base hit.
He hit it like he threw it. Looked like he took a little bit off. Maybe a changeup. Not sure what it was. 80 miles an hour. Little slider that really off the end of the bat. And Lucroy able to dump it in front of Cruz out there and left. A slider that didn't slide. It's kind of spun up there, and Lucroy able to get the base hit.
And there's the winning run at first base. Extending a hit streak, Lucroy, to 8 consecutive games. And now Gomez, who had a single in a third and is now on a 7-game hit streak. Tie game, bottom of the 9th. 1 out for Gomez. Carlos does have a home run in this streak, and began the day in the top 5 in the National League in slugging percentage and doubles, extra base hits, total bases. He's 6th in the league in homers. Gomez shows bunt. Hundley spins and fires. Oh, he throws it away. Lucroy racing on his way to third. And he's going to hold there for a moment as it was bobbled in foul territory. Ed Cedar thought about sending him.
Yeah.
Now the stage is set. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out on an error by newcomer Nick Hundley.
I'll tell you, about as easy a throw as you're going to see. Hundley panicking a little bit. Airmails first base. Pierce not able to get a glove on it. I mean, it's a pretty easy throw. He just got under it, and Lucroy all the way around to third. Ed Cedar had him going halfway down the line just to see what would have happened. Look at Eddie. He's all the way down toward the catcher, holding him up right at the last minute.
All right. So a very good defensive team has a new player, Nick Hundley, who commits a costly error. Lucroy is coming out, and Elian Herrera is going to pinch run at third base.
Hoping that a sac fly is going to be enough. Infield in, outfield in for Baltimore. The Brewers have had a tough time in these spots today.
Good arms all the way around. The best arm for the Orioles is in right field with Markakis. Jones throws it well as well. Infield in for the Orioles. Mark Reynolds, the former Oriole. He's killed him with his glove today. Trying to finish this one off with his bat. And a shot to short, and it's going to be a double play. Elian Herrera,
not sure what he's doing,
is off the bag. You can't do that. Inning over just like that. Extra innings we go. by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed you.
I agree. Wild side. You all right?
He's got a hairball there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I had a hairball here. Line drive. I'm not sure where Elian Herrera is going. Now, that ball gets over Hardy's head. He can crawl home to home. He probably thought there were 2 outs. I have no idea what he's doing here. That's just a terrible base running play, and the Orioles able to get out of that mess with nothing across. Now, that's 4 times the Brewers have failed with a man at third base and less than 2 outs today.
Well, that was a poor decision by Herrera. Remember, the Brewers took Lucroy out, so got a new battery here as we go to the 10th inning. Rob Wooten is on the pitch. Maldonado will do the catching.
Well, Rob Wooten's been throwing the baseball pretty well. Ron Rennie's getting more and more confidence in him every time he calls on him. 16th appearance and a .240 earned run average for Rob. Yeah, Wooten has been very dependable out of that bullpen. Pitched yesterday against the Marlins and retired all 4 batters that he faced. How many mistakes can you make and still win a game? That's the question that you ask yourself. And you know, the Brewers with opportunities with a man at third base, less than 2. They've cashed in twice, but have failed 4 different times.
Well, you know, Nick Hundley is breathing a sigh of relief after his throwing errors set it up for the Brewers in that 9th. So we play on. Nelson Cruz leads off, and a strike from Wooten. Now the Brewers were an out away from a win today. K-Rod had 2 outs, nobody on. And then the Orioles with 3 straight hits and a walk. Home run by Scope. RBI double by Markakis tied it up. 6-6. Cruz with an RBI single in the 3rd inning today. He's 1 for 3. Walked his last time up. And that ball's deep to left. Davis on the run at the track. Reaches up and makes the catch. Davis hauls it in. Cruz gave it a charge.
Yeah, what would the score be had it not been for good Brewers defense today? They have been picking up the pitching staff. Already playing deep. Basically just has to go over a little bit back and hauls it in right in front of the fence. Never takes his eye off it. Knows exactly where he is on that warning track, and out number 1.
Sigh of relief.
Had a nice day today.
Yes, he has.
Day not over, though.
We'll see Davis. He'll hit 2nd in the bottom of this 10th inning. There's a breaking ball strike in there to Steve Pearce. Orioles lost their closer due to a groin injury, Tommy Hunter. So they're a little thin in their bullpen as well. Wooten just trying to get this one to the bottom of the 10th, tied at 6. One and 2. Wooten's really done a good job lately for the Brewers. He's thrown strikes. He's got a lot of swings and misses with that fork ball and his breaking ball.
His slider's been money. Hasn't had to throw too many split-fingered fastballs. It's been slider fastball mainly.
And he gets Pearce.
There's a good one. How about that pitch?
A strikeout for Rob Wooten. 2 up, 2 down.
The slider, you can see the spin, the rotation, and off the outside corner, Pearce can't hold up.
Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy was as shocked as anyone that he had a double play in front of him on that soft liner by Reynolds. Got some pop in his bat. Got to be careful with Hardy. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. I'm not sure that's where Wooten wanted to put it, but he does get strike 2.
Yeah, a little more tilt on the curveball. Looked like a curveball that time, inside corner. So bad it's good sometimes. They call it a backup breaking pitch.
Well, the Brewers will have the bottom of their order coming up in the bottom of the 10th. And that part of the order has done significant damage here today. Jeanette will lead off. Chris Davis, then Overbay. Scoring 4 of the 6 runs. Davis and Overbay with big days as Hardy takes a ball. Count goes full now, 3-2. Hardy had hits in his first 2 at-bats. Been red hot in the month of May. He's 2 for 4 today. And that ball's deep. Well hit left field. Davis, out of his glove. And Hardy on his way to second with a double. Had it for a moment. And the go-ahead run for the O's is at second base.
Yep, right in the end of the glove. And once when he tried to squeeze it, popped out. Yeah, good effort. Just kind of flipped out of the glove, and J.J. Hardy on second base representing the tying run. That would have been a heck of a catch by Chris Davis. Yeah, good effort.
So Hardy is aboard on a double, a 2-out, 2-strike double. The Orioles now have 4 hits in the last 2 innings with 2 outs. And here's Nick Hundley, whose error will be just a footnote today after getting out of that inning as Hundley takes a strike. Well, you can imagine you're with the team for the first time, playing in your first game, a good defensive team, commit an error that could lead to a loss. But the Orioles were able to get out of it. And Hundley lines one to left. Down a base hit. Hardy around third trying to score. Segura's throw to the plate is late. And Hundley in his first game in Baltimore puts the Orioles ahead.
Well, you go from GOAT to the guy that perhaps could win the ball game. That's how quickly you could turn around. A slider that time. It was a slider that J.J. Hardy hit for a double. Slider down the middle, not breaking as much as it was yesterday, and Hardy able to score from second base.
Oh, the 2-out runs allowed by the Brewers. Costly. Orioles got 2 with 2 outs in the 9th. They've added 1 here in the 10th, and the Brewers find themselves trailing again. Here's Jonathan Scope, who's done big damage. He homered last inning off K-Rod. Scope with 3 hits, 2 homers, both of them solo shots. He came in this game with 3 home runs for the year. He's hit 2 in his last 2 at-bats.
Yep, a first pitch slider from Francisco Rodriguez knocked it out of here. It was amazing how these Orioles were able to, jump on these breaking pitches. Haven't done much with the fastball today.
Hit high and deep to left, playable for Davis. And the side retired, but the Orioles score. And now the Brewers need some magic in the bottom of the 10th. Jeanette, Davis, and Overbay coming up. To potential star with a game-winning hit. Orioles were able to work around an error. Brewers had a base-running blunder in the 9th inning. And here is Zach Britton, the left-hander out of Showalter's bullpen. He'll face Jeanette to lead off.
You see his number. Not bad, huh? 3 left-handers down in that Orioles bullpen. And Britton in his 21st game. And very opportunistic out of the bullpen. He's been able to get 3 wins without a loss and a .68 earned run average, and has only allowed the 1 home run. Brewers need some base runners. How about a bloop and a blast to send everybody home happy on Memorial Day, at least everybody in Milwaukee.
Well, the Orioles without their closer, Tommy Hunter. He is eligible to return June 5th out with a groin injury. In the meantime, Britton, the left-hander, has notched 2 saves. Britton saved the game yesterday against Cleveland when a scoreless inning with a strikeout. And he can rack up the Ks. 18 punch-outs to go along with 8 walks for Britton. Hard-throwing lefty. Scooter Jeanette will start it. Chris Davis to follow, then Lyle Overbay. You might see a pinch hitter for Overbay. Both of these teams play a lot of 1-run and 2-run games. And Jeanette out to Scope for the first out. Well, here's Chris Davis. He's had the best day at the plate in the Brewers lineup. 3 hits and a walk. He has not been retired. And hit a 446-foot home run back in the 6th inning. And when you've gotten into the late innings and extra innings, Davis has been at his best.
Yes, he has, and he's been in his best today. Orioles have not been able to retire him yet. A triple away from the cycle. That'll look good right now.
Orioles coming up off the deck, 2 in the 9th with 2 outs to tie it. Got one with 2 outs in the top of this inning to take the lead. 2-0 on Davis. These 2 teams are in the top 4 in games decided by 1 or 2 runs. The Brewers actually lead the major leagues in that category. Orioles are 4th. They've played in a lot of tight games. As Davey Nelson says, tournament tested. 2-1. Clutch Davis, because of those numbers late in games and in extra innings. Had a great series against the Red Sox. Big home run late in Pittsburgh. Had a walk-off base hit as well. Had a key triple in St. Louis.
And we are in extra innings. How about a big fly here? Of course, you're going to face a guy that's only given up only a couple of them.
Britton's only allowed 1 home run this season. That was at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. One gone, 10th inning. Brewers down a run. Britton deals, and Davis just stays alive on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And not too many lefties can get it up there like that. 96. Got good command of it. Throws a slider. Another big guy coming out of that Orioles bullpen. They got some big pitchers out there.
Britton's 6'3". Two and two. Here it comes, and Davis rips one back up the middle. A base hit. Have a day, Chris Davis. 4 for 4 with a walk, and the tying run is aboard.
And he picked on a breaking pitch and stayed right on it. Well, there he goes again in extra innings with another base hit. Can't get this guy out in extra innings. High breaking ball, curveball, and Davis stays right on it and hits it hard into center field.
7 hits in 9 at-bats in extra innings this year for Chris Davis. That batting average is soaring right now. Davis hitting .244 after that hit. Here's Overbay. Brewers are running out of options on their bench. So Overbay stays against the power left-hander, Britton.
And they've only got lefties, Falou and Schaefer, available, so you leave Overbay up there. It's Falou going to bat in the pitcher spot.
Big shift on for Overbay.
Now this is where you might think about a bunt down the line down there. In a situation like this, lefty versus lefty, why not? Doesn't have to be a very good bunt.
2-0 the count. Overbay hit a long home run up into the Lowe's level in the 6th inning. That was right after Davis's homer. Brewers down a run. Tying run over there at first. Zach Britton deals a 2-0, and Overbay takes ball 3. Yesterday, Britton in his save threw 18 pitches to pick up his 2nd save as the Orioles beat the Indians 4-2, earned a split in that 4-game series. Milwaukee in the 8th spot in their batting order. Overbay has a hit. He's walked twice. 3-1 the count, and it's ball 4. And the winning run is now aboard. Chris Davis goes to second as the tying run. And what a way to make your Brewers debut as switch hitter Irving Falou will bat.
Well, you got 2 shots at it. You got Falou and you got Segura on deck to tie her up.
Irving Falou, we saw a lot of him this spring. Just promoted to the big leagues, added to the major league roster. He was hitting .288 in AAA Nashville in 38 games. He can run. Got a chance to be the star here today.
Yeah, speed not the greatest on the bases for the Brewers right now. But at least they're on.
One out. Brewers down 7-6. And Falou takes strike 1. If you're wondering, Irving Falou has never homered in the major leagues. 24 games with the Royals 2 years ago, got in just 1 game last year. That's not his game.
But contact that's what the Brewers need now. Make something happen. Pretty good at hitting the baseball to the opposite field. There's a big hole between first and second.
.30-year-old native of Puerto Rico, Irving Falou, first at bat as a Brewer. Comes in the 10th inning, down a run. Britton deals and a chopper up the middle over his scope, steps on the bag, throw to first, and the ball game is over. And the Brewers let one get away today. Orioles win 7-6, a come from behind win. They get 2 in the 9th with 2 outs. Hundley with the big hit that gives them the lead in the 11th. Time now for Brewers Live. We check in with Craig Kishon standing by in right field. What do you have coming up for us, Craig?
Well, Brian, this is not the finish we thought of, that's for sure, a little bit ago. But the Orioles come back and top the Brewers. 2 outs are the key for the Orioles.